Hello and welcome to Dash 28 Live. I'm your host, Mike Atkins, and today we are bringing you the table, I think, 7 match from round 6 of the Call to Arms Universal Battle Kings of War tournament. They are playing Salt the Earth this round, which is a scenario that I don't think I've ever actually played. So this will be very educational for me as well, since I've got to do this tomorrow. But we have Tom Ennis and Ed Herzig here. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
And joining me here in the broadcast booth, we have Jonathan Fox, Elliot Morrish, and Ashley Smashley Mowat. And so without any further ado, let's bring up the lists and see what you guys are going to be playing. Second. I'm on the right tab. There we go. Sorry about that. And there we go. So
there we go.
All right. So, Ed, would you talk us through your list, please?
Sure. So this is the Sylvankin list, more or less, that I've been playing all through the tournament. It's got even more Forest Shamblers in than usual. That's basically because I brought enough to let Tom shoot some off with his mortars before I got close to him. Then he went and took a different army. But I'm sure it'll still be useful to have more Forest Shamblers than usual. And it's a simple army. It's lots of trees, and the idea is that they all get elite from the Wildfather, and that makes them into something good, and they all scout, and that's really all there is to the list. Got the avatar of the Green Lady a bit lower down, so she adds a bit of heal. She's got Cloak of Death, or she's got the balance, which is a nice thing. Forest Warden and a couple of troops of the Gur Panthers, just to be a nuisance, basically. And the 2 tree herders, who are great. Absolutely love them.
Very cool.
Very nice.
All right. Now let's switch over and see what Tom is bringing this time.
Okay, so yeah, this time I'm going to try Northern Alliance list out. So it starts off with 3 regiments of Snow Foxes, just some chaff, 4 hordes of Ice Elementals, because they're really, really good, 2 Cavern Dwellers, Crush 3, Life Leech 3, Strider, and kind of to go with them is the Lord on Frostfang. I think everybody knows about the Lord now. He's really good. 2 Ice Queens with heal, and then on this one I forgot to do the swap for Surge, but they have Surge, not Icy Breath, so they have Surge 8, heal 5. And then rounding out is Hurim, the legendary Ice Giant, and he's a beast. The Crush 4 is going to come in pretty handy in this one, I think. He also has a shooting attack, so that is the list.
Nice. All right, thanks, guys. Now let's bring up your Universal Battle Room and check out what you guys have done. So what terrain are you guys using? Is this just one of the Epic Dwarf maps?
Yeah, I rolled a d20, and this is one of the Epic Dwarf. It's 14. So.
Okay. And are you guys doing anything different with the heights, or is it pretty standard?
Yeah, the forests and buildings are height 9, height 3, hills, height, I guess, flat. Pond and field, so pretty standard.
Okay, cool. And you guys are playing Salt the Earth, and for this scenario, there's 7 objectives, 1 that goes in the exact middle, and then you each place 3. Is that correct? Looks like.
Yep.
Okay, and you guys are using these red dots for your objective markers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this looks like. Okay, and
the
it looks like
the middle one can't be taken away, but the others can be taken away at the end of a turn. So,
right, if you control it, right?
If you control it, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's go through the deployments. Looks like, Ed, you deployed up top. So could you walk us through how you deployed your units, starting over here on the left?
Yeah, left to right. So there's some Gur Panthers just to be a nuisance on the flank. A regiment of Shamblers. There's some tokens around there. Another regiment of Shamblers. horde of shamblers, the tree herder, the ordinary tree herder, more panthers, more shamblers. Behind them, a regiment of shamblers, horde of shamblers. In between them is the avatar of the Green Lady. Then the Wilt Father, 2 more lots of shamblers, and then on the right flank, hiding behind the building, wondering which way to go, is the Forest Warden.
Okay. Cool. And Tom, could you walk us through yours, starting over here on the left?
Yep. So I won the roll for size, and I picked bottom.
Okay.
So I put that Ice Elemental Horde. That was actually one of my last drops. I was trying to decide whether to put it over on the right or the left, but I decided on the left. It's within 3 inches if I move up of that objective. So if I get first turn, I can stop him from burning that one. To the right is another Horde of Ice Elementals with a Snow Fox behind it, an Ice Queen behind them for support. Another Ice Elemental Horde, and they're both deployed, so if I move up, they'll be on the hill to get that extra TC, which I'll probably need if I get into combat. And then in the middle is a little formation with 2 Cabin Dwellers flanking the Lord on Frostfang. So all the inspiring in this list is Frostbound only, except for the Lord. So the idea is to keep these guys together as a little battle group. They all have Strider, so I just deployed them across from the big force, which I knew Ed was going to put a lot of his units in, and then a Snow Fox just stuck behind them. On the right is an Ice Elemental Horde with the Queen behind for support. Snow Fox angled so I can, at the double first turn, pass that fence if I need to. And then Harim is over there, just looking to cause some trouble for the Wilt Father if he comes up too fast. So,
all right, great. So thanks so much, guys. Good luck to both of you. I think you're going to go to your room now, and Ed is going to do all 700 of his scout moves, however many scout.
Few scouts.
So have fun. We'll be watching. Let us know if you have any questions or anything, and we'll see you back here after the game is done.
See you.
Good luck,
Okay.
guys.
Enjoy, guys.
All right.
Alrighty, poo.
Has anybody else played Salt the Earth before?
No.
Well, a few times, and I played my round 6 game with it a few days ago. I mean, just looking at the board now, one of the things that came up in my game is how powerful turn 1 can be in this scenario, because you can start deleting tokens from turn 1. So
turn 1, not turn 2?
No, so I assumed turn 2, and then when I actually reread it, it's just at the end of your turn.
Yeah.
End of any turn. So, like, for example, if Ed gets turn 1 here, the Ger Panthers on the left can fly right down and delete the bottom left token. And the scout moves here are really important because he can push up and contest them straight away, just preventing Tom from being able to move on and delete tokens that he wants to. So turn 1 roll, I think, in this scenario is absolutely massive.
But then,
Because
you, when you delete tokens, obviously they don't count towards the. It's not you take a token and retain it, so it's just stopping other people from scoring it, or you're stopping yourself from scoring it.
Exactly, but what you can do is you can then say if you've got fast units like Ger Panthers, you can shoot across the board, delete all the ones on your opponent's half of the board, and then just sit back on the ones on your half, and you've changed it to a lopsided pillage, instantly. Yeah. And I mean, Tom's set up to do something similar, but obviously Ed can scout. So the Snow Foxes on the right are set up so they can miss the wall. And in theory, they could have run forward and deleted that one. But obviously, because Ed's got scout, he can defend against that. But it's a really big first turn roll. Not as much in this one, I think, because I think there's only one token either way that could flip.
I was also going to say, when in doubt this game, I feel like we can just assume the unit is Ice Elementals or Forest Shamblers and we'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's all shambling. It's all shambles.
Yeah, but it's all those Forest Shamblers. So many Forest Shamblers. It's like, which one is it this time? Oh, look, Forest Shamblers.
Yeah. On the positive side, there's no magic items on any of the Forest Shamblers. They're all just Forest Shamblers.
Right.
They're just little shambling forest boys.
Yeah, we'd have to look out for certain ones that are a pain in the ass.
At least for Ed's sake, because all of his stuff is at least speed 6, he's only going to get shot he can still charge after getting shot by the icy breath.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's got speed 5 stuff that's going to get shot and then slowed down. So it takes him out of range.
Yeah, no, he'll be okay with that.
Yeah, this is kind of an interesting Northern Alliance list. It's kind of a Monster Mash style list, right? All large infantry, all monsters or mounted things. The only infantry in the list is just those 2 ice queens, right? Everything else is boxes or...
Yeah. I think it's interesting, too, that Tom changed his list. Like, he had played some cheese in the past, and then Ed's like, I'm going to change my list. Like, I'm going to make sure we've got a plan for that. And Tom's like, nah, we're going to go Northern Alliance.
I think Tom's showing his nice side, his non-dojo side here. The true Tom is coming out. That actually he likes just fun lists as well. But if he does it too often, he gets kicked out of dojo. So
sure,
what can you say?
No, it's good. No, I think that's the interesting thing with the tournament too, though, is after you have had 5 rounds, you kind of get to see like what your opponent has been playing in the past. Also with the streams, you can go back, and so I think there's some like, oh, should I prepare for what they've been taking? Or and then all of a sudden your opponent's doing the same for you. So there's this like weird extra aspect that we wouldn't see in normal tournaments because you're stuck with the same list for the whole whole 5 games.
Absolutely, and let's not forget that Tom Annis is known as Spy Master. He knows everything that's going on.
He does like to check in.
Yeah. His name appears quite a lot in UB games. Just watch what's going on.
I mean, it would have been a massive double bluff for Ed to change his list now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree, Steve, that Ed is one of the nicest people in the world, and he's literally a scholar and a gentleman.
Yeah, he is a professor at Oxford University. You don't get any more English than that, I don't think.
No.
And it looks like we're rolling first turn now.
Oh.
And it looks like Tom has won the roll.
Choice.
Yep. Well, that probably is really good for him because those scout moves are they're there. Ed definitely ran up full speed ahead.
Definitely taking it. I think you had to take that one there because you need to protect that token on the left, because actually that horde there can hold that one all game and effectively bank it and be safe.
Yeah.
Whereas Ed has now walked up to within 3 inches of 4 of them. The middle one, of course, here in the very center, he can't burn, but he is currently sitting on 3 that he can burn on his turn if Tom doesn't move up anything to contest them.
Yeah, but he wouldn't want to burn the ones in his own area that he can hold. He's more concerned about the ones, let's say the far left one on the field. I think was the one that was the most critical.
Yeah.
If you get that.
It's like you want to burn the ones that you're not going to be able to hold, because then your opponent can't hold them either.
Yeah.
It's like if you're like, I could sit here all game and he's going to do nothing about it. Don't burn it. You need it.
Right.
But it's nice to also be like, I'm probably, if you get to that point where you're sitting on an objective and you're like, I'm going to get charged and killed. Well, I could burn this and my opponent doesn't get it either. So
well, not for you.
I think Ed will be burning the token, the top left token, where he's got a regiment there.
Sure
on the hill.
I think he'll burn that. I think it's because there's that's just a regiment just holding it, and he's facing off against potentially, well, certainly a horde.
Yeah,
because that horde.
If it was me, I would hold it for now because you've got the Ger Panthers effectively in reserve.
Yeah.
So you've got an option to delete it later on if you need to. It depends how the shooting goes, really. If it does a lot of damage to you with the shooting, then, like Ashley said, if you know you're going to die, then you just accept it and delete it.
Yeah.
Which then also, in some ways, like takes the drive to kill you away from your opponent. In some ways, it may turn the aspect of the game to other places, but still, they're not going to get the score, which is what they need for the scenario win. So,
So, what do we think about the far right one, which is obviously Forest Warden's now looking at it with envious eyes?
It just looks lonely out there.
It does, but Tom seems to ignore it.
Like, part of me is a little surprised that Tom did not put his snow foxes far like positioned on the right flank to go
he
for that
still
one.
might. Because
He
the
might.
Nimble and Pathfinder are out there, so they can swing round and go straight for it and delete it, which I think might actually be the best move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I
otherwise
don't think
you're
you're
gonna
gonna
have to deal with that.
It's kind of out in nowhere's land, so unless you've got something like, unless you want to sit Snow Foxes there, but you're gonna die to a Forest Warden, you might as well
Right.
get up and delete it if you can, because I don't suspect that you want to leave a bunch of units over there to try and hold that one objective. Where most of the fight is definitely going to be taking place in the middle to left.
I think actually he probably definitely will turn the Foxes to delete it. And
Yeah.
again, showing the power of that first turn. If Ed had got first turn, he could have moved onto it and defended it, and he could have deleted the one on the left. It's a strange scenario for that, really. I think it's. I know there's been a lot of talk throughout the tournament about how powerful first turn is in different scenarios. I think this is the one that dictates how the game is going to go the most.
Yes, Felix. Tom did take
yes,
turns on his Ice Queens.
Yeah. Did he?
Oh no, did he? I thought those were the ones he said he took them by accident.
He said that.
No.
Yeah, so
he's the one. He said that he took Icy Breath.
He had swapped it.
Yeah, he swapped. He just said he forgot. That was all.
Yeah, he forgot to do it.
Yeah.
In the list, but they have it in the game.
Yeah, I think they said it fairly early on that they had clarified that Tom had made that error. So, well before they started playing.
What do the Ice Queens get? Is it a list, or do they reroll a certain number of dice against?
Master of Ice. When targeting
Icebound
friendly core, frostbound units, or enemy units which have the frozen special rule, they can reroll one of the dice that failed to hit with Bane Chant, Heal, Icy Breath, Wind Blast, Surge, or Blizzard.
I mean, anyone that's ever taken the Conjurer's Staff knows that dice will always miss.
Yeah. Conjurer's Staff.
Especially when it's a 1-inch surge.
Too soon.
Too soon, yeah. Don't talk to Mike about those 1-inch surge, okay?
We're not talking about dice rolls. We're not talking about dice rolling at all.
Oh please! You better know that I'm never gonna let Brindley.
I'm still tender from that one.
I am never gonna let Brindley live down, letting Tom Annis rear charge his unit and lose the game, and I'm never gonna let him live that down. And I have video evidence for the rest of the time.
That's it. You're never gonna let that lie, Ashley. It's never gonna lie.
No, it's because I make a lot of dumb mistakes that he knows. So.
All right, so in his scout moves, Ed basically did what we expected him to do. He moved everything up as a single force, right? As one big walking forest, kind of up into the middle of the board there.
Yeah, but it's also it's a little bit more. Yeah, it's a little bit more subtle, isn't it? Because he staggered it all, so it's difficult to get multiple charges in. There's lots of flank protection. He really knows how to play this scout move, and it's.
Absolutely. He's played this list a lot, and he's done this exact scout move quite a number of times. As John said, he's got the stagger perfectly there with the Wilt Father in the middle. Nothing's ever going to get more than one charge off. And what's really nice is the way he's put the regiment. If you charge the horde, you're offset enough that you're in the flank the next turn. So it doesn't counter charge; you just charges your flank and kills you. And that's entirely on purpose. He set those up. Exactly for that reason.
Yeah.
That is the next level thinking that I don't got.
Yeah.
Very well done.
That's what Oxford done.
Yeah.
But then Tom has all these cavern dwellers and the Lord on Frostfang on these small bases. So, I mean, if he wants to double charge with those, he'll be able to get in on pretty much everything.
Can he actually? I'm not even sure if there's 100 mil overhang there. It might still be able to get one in.
But he wouldn't need 100 mils of overhang because he could fit one in, and then as long as the other one has enough,
he'd need 51. Yeah, sorry, of course.
51. Yeah, he doesn't need the full 100. Yeah. So, how did you guys think of Tom's deployment, like splitting between on each side of the house and how he's placed things? What do you guys think of that?
I thought it was a little weird because there's just that one objective way over there on the right, and unless he's planning on playing for it, I don't know that he needs all that stuff over there.
I'm surprised that Tom took the bottom, because that forest is just got Ed's name all over it, that Ed's now sat in.
Yeah.
And Tom said that he won the role for size, because I don't dislike Tom's deployment based on what he had given to him, because that building blocks you entirely, and I don't think you can ignore the right, so you had to put something there. But I think the deployment looks good as if you were forced to go on the bottom, but obviously you chose it.
Yeah, well,
so I don't know
if
if he saw
if
something
he chose that.
Yeah.
I think that I would argue that Tom's put slightly too much resource to the right hand side of the building for what's facing against him there, and I would put.
Here we are. So it looks like they are going to.
Yeah, I would put the giant on the other side of the. I would put the giant with the three other big hitters in the middle there, and just create a core that's absolutely unbeatable.
Just like
the giant is slightly faster though, isn't he?
Let me see.
Yeah, so he's not a terrible flanker. I think he's speed 7, isn't he?
He's
speed 7. Yeah. He's 7. The Cavern Dwellers are 6, and the Lord on Frostfang is also 7.
Yeah, I would win with the Frostfang Lord.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's not. Or is he? I wonder if he's trying to see if he can get within 3 and not within 12 of the Forest Warden.
Forest Warden, yeah. So it seems like
the right angle.
Yeah. The general strategy for this scenario is like pick which objectives you want to try to defend, get on them as fast as possible, but try to burn all the others before your opponent gets to the ones he wants.
The rest, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the strategy really is get turn 1, because then you can dictate the flow of play.
Sure.
Because you can do this, you can delete the ones that you don't want, and you can force your opponent to then play what's left. Really, I imagine those snow foxes at the back middle aren't going to move all game. That's just their token now. But what's wonderful is if they do get threatened, they can just delete it and run. Well, delete it and then run the next turn.
Right.
Mm.
Well, and I think also it's nice though for Ed that he did have all that scout to bring him forward, because otherwise he would still be like, we've got Tom sitting on a lot of objectives, and he would be way back in his back lines, almost totally out of it with all of them.
Yeah, you're right. It's a really strong list for the scenario, actually, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I mean,
because you basically get first turn no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even if he'd had first turn, which would have been an advantage for sure, it's kind of negated by his scout. Like he gets to not stress about it as much, in my opinion.
Mike, can we check the range of the Ice Elemental Hordes? Are any of them within 10?
Over here on the left?
For shoot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like. Yeah, it looks like it's in. It looks one of them.
Not there, but there.
Yeah.
And there. So
yeah. Because you can't downplay their shooting. They're boomer hordes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then my boomer hordes never did anything for me. So.
Okay. Yeah.
There we go. First lot shooting. Dear God.
7 damage.
7 wounds.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll take off regiments easily.
All right.
Yeah, but luckily these are fearless regiments, so that does help.
He's put himself in charge range to do it. And I think the one on the hill to the left, is that in charge range of the middle one as well? It's got options, hasn't it? But,
so it's nice though, because even if they do a fair amount of damage to the 4 shamblers.
7 more wounds. Wow. Okay.
Okay, well, they did.
Yeah, that's huge. And now over
they're
to
on
the other one over here on the right, looking for the same thing, only 9 hits this time. 5 wounds, still not bad.
No.
For first turn shooting.
Not bad at all, no.
Where did the second 7 wounds
Ed did say he'd brought redundant trees this time to deal with the...
He might not have bothered putting up...
getting shot off.
They're dash 14, so, you know, they're two 7s puts them on nerve. And then that's another 5 wounds from the giant.
Yeah,
on that same one. So that's 10
total.
Rim.
There you go.
That's some serious damage.
That is. I say it's you really can't downplay the shooting from this list. It's like I say, they're surgical boomer hordes. And what's really scary, of course, is that there's going to be times where you can do the shooting and then surge them in and charge.
Yeah.
You know, which is a trick that people have pulled off in the past with things like Diadem of Dragonkind and, you know, a few bits with the Empire of Dust, but this list really takes advantage of that.
4, that'll still get them, right? They're dash 14.
They're dash
So
14 now, yeah.
So that picks one up.
I think this one might be gone too.
Did they lose a nerf?
Yeah.
I forgot.
The other one's on snakes.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were on snakes as well.
Yep. So that gets rid of both of them. So that is 2 units of thick chaff gone here in the top of turn 1.
Tic
I
tac.
mean, he was always going to use 1. Losing 2 was unfortunate. On the one on the right probably shouldn't have lost, but those combined hordes were always going to take at least 1 off.
Yep. And interestingly, that brings them down to the same number of scoring units. Ed had a 2 scoring unit advantage at the top of the game, which for a scenario like this, where sometimes when it gets to the end, it matters far more how many scoring units you have versus how much unit strength you have, because you just have to get on objectives.
Absolutely, yeah.
And yeah, Ed had a 2 scoring unit advantage, which Tom has just evened up before his first turn.
Well, that's just very mean, Tom. Look at that.
So Ed's trick now is going to be where can he get charges and how can he prevent surge shenanigans?
Yeah.
Effectively, you know, and you know, unfortunately for Ed, those regiments are perfect for that, aren't they? They're perfect for just being in the way.
Yeah, and Tom has these snow foxes screening his hordes on the hill.
The scariest thing for Ed really actually is the 2 Cavern Dweller Frostfang Lord combo.
Yeah, because they're all strikers.
Because those 3 together will just delete. They can get to the point of deleting a horde in one go.
Yeah.
And if they can get into the flank of the Wiltfather, they can really start doing serious damage.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going backwards.
Look at this list.
So that was definitely a very strong first turn from Tom. He moved up. He took some aggressive positions. He kept his battle line together, and he picked up 2 pieces of thick chaff with just shooting. And he is in position and range to pick up, or he could have burned this objective all the way on the far right, but I guess he chose not to or forgot.
Or forgot. I'm going to guess forgot.
Maybe forgot.
That tends to be What I tend to find with this scenario is that usually about 5 minutes into your opponent's turn, you then go, do you mind?
or maybe he's thinking that picking up those 2 regiments puts enough pressure on Ed that he's going to have to turn that Forest Warden and head him back towards the center of the board instead of running over there and dealing with the foxes. In which case, the foxes can just sit over there and camp all game and score.
Because the Forest Warden, and I was going to say the Snow Foxes still have a turn to decide whether or not they want to burn it because they're out of charge range. Yes.
Well, no, but he'll contest it, won't he? So if he gets within range,
he have unit strength?
He's
unit strength 1.
Oh, okay.
He's a nimble large infantry.
Yep. So he can contest it. He can only move 6 though. Is he 9 inches away? 3. He can't actually get.
He is nimble though, so he can just turn and march, and he's got Pathfinder.
So he's got
Pathfinder.
Oh, and he doesn't shamble. My bad. Yeah,
he doesn't shamble.
They're really nice little units, and they got even better in version 3 because they got and one of the Clash Kings packs they got Surge, didn't they?
Yeah,
they were nice before them.
Yeah, that's great.
They got a slight points increase, but that's more than justified by the improvement in the in general.
Yeah, they went up to melee 3 as well.
Yeah, they're a lot better.
Yeah, like
they weren't bad in 2. They were 65 points.
No, I really liked them just for a unit strength. I used to give it the boomstick.
Yeah,
and it would just sit on the opposite flank to everything else and just wander towards an objective, shooting you all game. And you either invested a lot of points to kill it, or you ignored it, and it just did a little chip damage.
And then it just hurt your feelings. Yeah.
Yeah. As this annoying little tree just pings you all game. So
just an annoyed little tree just like swacking its branches at you. Pay attention to me.
I demand attention.
But don't pay much attention to me.
Why are we describing me in a tree?
Pay attention, but not too much attention.
Ed's staggered his line even more now. Just protect against that right flank, which is a little faster.
Yep. So he sent one of the regiments into Cavern Dweller
Is he charging that? Yeah, he's want to slow us down.
Like
he wants to slow down that. Yeah, here we go.
Ooh, okay, so where's that Ice Elementals arc? On one of the right, sorry. I'm guessing it can't see anything. Oh no, it can definitely see.
It can definitely see it.
But it is forcing.
Yeah, it's speed 6, isn't it? Ice Elementals are speed 6. So it can get there.
So he's forcing Ed to either overrun or sidestep. Once he's killed it.
Or turn and face that direction. And keep
turn and face that direction, you're going to eat another flank.
Can Harum see him? Because Harum is the one thing you really... Oh, you're going to have to turn him, isn't it?
It's too far. It's more than 14 away, though.
Okay, yeah.
So just a step to the right.
Yeah.
Because he can't turn, kind of, because then he's going to get Cavern Dwellers and Lord on Frostfang.
And the Lord on Frostfang, yeah. Yeah.
So he's going to either have to sidestep both of them or overrun.
Unless he's planning on bringing up these other two hordes behind them to
possibly actually, yeah. Although has he already shuffled them back, maybe?
No.
Yeah.
All right, so Ed appears to be just going all in.
Well, he did say he had to play fast because his laptop charger
Ed's down to 35% battery charge.
Yeah, we should probably explain that Ed forgot his laptop charger, so he has to get the entire game in on one charge of laptop.
Yep. So we are now taking bets on whether this game finishes before the Alex Coos and Ryan Munsell game that started a couple hours ago.
We're on turn hours on turn 4.
Yeah.
Or before the 7 p.m. game, which is going to be Stephen Devonish versus Kyle Poole. All the games are slightly overlapping today because for everybody watching, we're trying to do as many of the top 10 tables as possible, and we've got the top 8 scheduled. But that meant that some of them had to overlap a bit today because that's when people were planning on playing. I was able to get people to spread them out a little bit, but you can only do so much with people's work schedules and time zones and all that.
Which is why I'm commentating tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday.
Right.
I'm commentating tonight.
Hosting tomorrow morning.
You're hosting tomorrow morning. Yeah, I've got. I think I'm hosting a game tomorrow, and then I'm playing. And assuming we can get a host, that one will be live streamed as well. And I promise I will play faster this time.
That's it. Unfortunately, Mike, I think your game's on in the middle of the night for the UK, isn't it?
For the UK, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, because I'm playing an Australian, so.
Yeah, so you got to make that work.
So
my evening and his morning.
I do like this idea of sending everything in because there's no burn chant in this list, and obviously there are only melee 4, crushing 1, and there is just a whole lot of nerve and high defense there, backed up by Radiance of Life. So the grind suits Ed because he's not getting shot if he's being charged and ground down, and he's also got the sneaky little 50 mil tree herders that can get flanks, and I think he's right to do this because he'd rather be in the thick of it and in the middle of it all than he would hanging back and getting shot, because he gains nothing there, and while this is so risky for him, he has the possibility of the dice going his way. Whereas if he hangs back, he will get shot. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, and he can't do anything in response.
Yeah, I feel like when your opponent comes out hot shooting in the first turn, there's 3 things that people can do. They can just say, oh, well, that was going to happen anyway, and stick to their plan. They can get cold feet, or they can just step on the gas. And I think we're seeing Ed basically just stepping on the gas here.
Yeah.
So we're seeing him roll GURP. So the GURP Panthers, is that what he's rolling? No, sorry.
It's going to be...
This is combat.
Regiment there, yeah.
Forest Shamblers. Shocking. Yeah. Forest Shamblers. Forest Shambler Regiment on an Ice Elemental Horde.
What is nice, these are all elite as well, although it's only rolled 1. But the Wiltfather does make these elite.
Yeah. And that's a 9-inch aura because he took the horn. Yeah.
Yes, because it's a slight oversight.
So it converts 1.
That was one of the ones that the rules committee said. Obviously, we didn't intend it, but Sylvan they're hardly setting the world on fire at the minute.
Sure.
Let's not nerf them yet.
Yeah. Unless you're Daniel King, doing the narrative campaign, where you can increase one of your stats. And so he took the Wilt Father with the Sacred Horn and increased his defense to 7.
Yes. until he was told he was a very, very bad man and don't do that, and he stopped doing it, I think.
Oh, interesting. So he's on his reform moves. He sent the Tree Herder an inch forward.
Oh, can I just check the arc of the Cavern Dweller?
Yeah.
It's out of arc.
Out.
No, he's still nicking that line.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot of nerve there at defense. The Cavern Dwellers, are they lots of crushing and plunderers? I'm assuming
they're like giants. They're like little baby giants.
Crush 3.
Cavern Dweller is D6 plus 6 attack, crushing 3. But they hit on 3s instead of 4, so they're more reliable.
See, I would have backed that Tree Herder
but
up.
He's not going to be able to get in there because he's going to put. Oh yeah,
he's going to have to send the Hawk forward surely to.
Oh, he's going to Wilt Father's gone forward.
No, he's going to send the Wilt Father forward so that these ice elementals can't see him anymore, which he has done, and that is out. But I would have backed that other one up so that it was behind the line of the. Oh, maybe he was just checking to see how far forward he's got to go.
Yeah, I think it's
because if it's 1 inch, you're like, well, I might as well, you know.
Yeah.
Well, is now the Wilt Father going to get flanked by the other one? They've gone too far now. Yep. So it's going to be a Wilt Father sandwich.
Yeah. This.
Okay.
This
well, let's see
Dweller
what happens. He hasn't moved the Horde yet, right? And he did combo charge with the Horde.
There we go.
go.
And he moved it up 3 as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the
now
Cavern Dweller on the right has a flank on the Wilt Father.
This one.
Does it?
Looks like it.
Well, he's got to get around the this regiment in front of him.
Oh, sorry.
That's not words. Yeah, that's not words.
I'm looking at his terrain.
I was like, well, I don't know how he's going to fit between the regiment of Forest Shamblers and the house.
I think it's like, it's got Strider, hasn't it? It'll go straight over that terrain.
Straight over that terrain.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely fine. That's exactly why he sent the regiment in.
Yeah.
So we have an update in the other game that's going on. Apparently, Alex, Gus, and Ryan Munsell have made it to the top of 5 now.
5, yay.
All right, boys, pick up the pace.
If this stream finishes first, I am going to make fun of Alex for so long.
So that was 2 scoring units of Tom.
So it's hard to know really yet whether that was a good turn for Ed.
Right?
You know, he's killed Chaff and put himself in a position where Tom now has to respond, but I think we'll only know.
Tom's only got a lot of one-on-one. Or
I mean,
not a lot of multi-charging there, is really, is there?
Well, the middle ice elemental horde almost definitely has a flank surge on the middle to the left horde of forest shamblers, the one where that 3 currently is over. So the one to the left, because all it has to do is go forward 6 and turn.
Yeah.
And then it can shoot and then be surged in, which will probably one-shot that horde. Yeah, it is and I'm guessing
you could triple charge this one with the these ice elementals, this Cavern Dweller, and Lord on Frostfang.
Where's the Wilt Father going?
Oh, they've forgot the Cloak of Death. Yeah.
That is a very powerful rule.
Oh, I love it.
Persistent. I feel like it's just like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, it's like boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
Where's the avatar of the Green Lady?
You have a wound. You have a wound. Everybody have a wound.
It's like, did you just like you literally? I can never tell if it's supposed to be like a. Here's my like cool magic-y, you're all gonna like take a wound from me. But more I just think of it's like everyone's like, I am scared, and then takes a wound.
It's a big walking tree.
I kind of like the Gorblight model for it because he's got all these like chains and morning stars and stuff hanging off of all these extra limbs sticking on him. So I just imagined that he just like runs up and like spins around and smashes everything. Right?
The wounds are just like you've walked too close to the tree and just got like
basically. I picture like the Necromancer behind him yelling, "Everything that's dead should duck now," and like all the zombies bend over, and the Gorblight spins around and smacks everything.
Or you go for the full comedic in response of somebody's bent the bough of the tree back and it's just whacked them.
Unleashed. Yeah. I've got a horrible image of a pirouetting Gorblight now.
Who says it's not nimble?
In a little
It'd be awesome if
tutu,
it was
Elliot.
nimble, actually.
In a little tutu. Yeah, it has to be done.
Tutu of death.
Somebody has to paint one.
If someone sends me another Gorblight model, I will put a tutu on it. It might be a black tutu, but I will put a tutu on it.
So
I will send it for a pink
Horde
tutu.
and Harum. Again, it's the power here, isn't it? That he can just. I suppose this is the difference between Tom's shambling hordes and Ed's, is that he's doing something even in the turns when he's not charging. So he's moving up and he's shooting a really effective shooting attack.
Which way is this Forest Warden even looking? He's looking at the token.
Straight down, yeah.
Okay.
I think it was a mistake of Tom's not to delete that one when he could. I don't know if he did forget. I'm guessing he must have forgotten, because I can't see any real reason not to have deleted it. I think that's probably Tom's Ed's token now, really, because the Forest Warden should kill that regiment.
Yeah.
It's either going to be
so now
contested
it's kind of too late to go back. So it's not like it's still his turn or just the next turn just started. Kind of late to go back and be like, oh yeah, I forgot the token.
Yeah.
There's like
and to be fair, knowing Tom, he probably said, I missed the trigger point, my mistake. As much as I'd like to deride him, he is a very, very fair player.
Yeah.
Or
if he just was like, oh right, and just quietly played with him. But Tom's a very nice guy. That's very true.
He's a very nice guy.
But it's so easy to forget, because it's as far as I know, is it the only thing that triggers at the end of your turn that way?
Which?
Well,
deleting the tokens.
No, because that's how we play raise. Except for raise, you're scoring them. So
yeah.
And it's just
again, I
bottom
always forget raise as well.
Yep.
So I think it's because there's so few things that trigger at that stage. So you're so used to saying, right at the end of my movement, or I'm picking up loot tokens, or I'm doing this, that, and the other.
Right.
But there is a lot less that triggers at that stage. So you go right into my turn, and then you go, oh no, actually, there's a reason I flew that gargoyle troop over there, or the reason I.
So we do have triple charge on that central horde.
Looks like it. Yep.
I think.
So it doesn't look to be going for the flank surge. I don't know if he checked if he could do it, but I think he's just gone straight forward instead.
Yeah, he might just shoot and then walk into them. That is either a triple charge, or he sent the Lord on Frostfang into the Wildfather, but I would guess it's a triple charge.
I think it's a triple charge. By how straight the line is.
You hope he's triple charge, because
right.
You Wildfather against one of those isn't going to cause.
The other thing with the, if you try to surge into the flank.
Hello, where the earth is he going with those snow foxes?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. They were like.
I think he heard you.
I think he just needs to stay out of charge range now, and then come back, and because if he stays within charge range, he dies. So what he needs to do is back up and back up. Ed can then never leave 3 inches of it, and then at the last possible turn, fly in and contest it again. So he's doing the complete right thing to try and avoid being charged. And Ed now has to just dance around that unit all game.
Yeah, he's also made sure that they can't erase that token. Like I said, when he fly backwards, it was like, okay, you're staying out of charge range, but you're going to lose the token.
But I think at this stage, I don't think Ed wants to erase it. I think he sort of needs to bank that one.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so that's a regiment of snow foxes, which costs 80 points, versus a Forest Warden, which costs 90 points. So similar points investment of both of them, just standing over there contesting a token.
And they're just going to dance around each other all game now. I'm really surprised that he's not gone for the flank surge.
But what I was going to ask with that is, what to do the flank surge and get in the right position, would he have needed a much higher success rate on his surge to get the charge?
Probably like it'd be about 2 or 3 inch surge rather than a 1 inch surge. But he does have surge 16 in the list.
True.
But
his Ice Queen with the other Surge 8 is on the other side of the board behind the Giant, no?
That is true. So no, it was very failable.
Talk about hot and cold shooting.
I was about to say the shooting's really been poor this round.
He's done 2 wounds.
Yeah.
To that Shambler Horde in the back with Rim and the Ice Elemental Horde on the right.
Yeah, both went in there. It was appalling.
I feel like that was the right shot to make, though. I feel like that's the right thing to shoot at.
I agree. I mean, even just putting the frozen on them, it just takes their effectiveness out for Joran in the middle of the board. You can't discount how powerful that frozen is.
Well, even if you just pick at it too, it's the one that's sitting on the token. So if you get lucky and kill it, then it still puts your opponent in a position that they have to react to that.
Yeah.
3 wounds with that one.
I mean, the Sage will be off the hill as well, so there will be Thunderous 1.
Yep. And that's 3. That's more than enough to get in.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that'll be.
I would have preferred I mean, obviously a flank is better anyway, but I would have preferred the flank for the positioning after combat as well. At the minute, everything is very bunched together there. For example, the second tree herder, if they don't break it, has a flank on them now.
Right.
In fact, is that tree herder even? That's not in combat, is it? But
it's not.
So if they don't die here, he's going to get flanked. Whereas if he'd flanked himself, he'd have been in a much nicer position.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if Tom regularly plays undead. Surging things might be new to him. Might not automatically start from can I get into the flank?
So they're on 9. Yeah, they're fine. Fearless 17.
Yeah.
Fearless 17. Yep. And that is that's a 9 and a 7. So if only they were brutal, but they're not actually ogres.
No.
They are not frozen ogres, despite popular belief.
Although that would be a nice conversion.
That would look really cool, actually. Like frozen boomer models with like icicles and man.
Or just in a full block of resin.
Actually, that
would stuck in a glacier.
Literally in an ice cube. Yeah.
Oh, that yes. Yeah. That'd be.
Oh, is that 8 in total from everything? Oh no, that's the first. Oh,
that's just 8
that's the regiment.
Yeah, it's a horde on the regiment on the left
and gone.
Yeah. Which now them free.
They did their job. Because the Ger Panthers actually are doing a wonderful job of holding that horde there, because it can't really go anywhere without giving up that token. So it's going to have to turn to face them,
right?
And they can just run away now.
I was about to say, then run up to the top to the token directly above them.
Effectively, do what Tom's doing on the right with the snow foxes, and just be. The difference is you've got a 200 and something point horde chasing that around. Although it can shoot them, so it can't do it for long. Yeah. But he should be able to turn and hide behind the hill.
Yep.
All right, so we moved on to the other regiment.
Cavern Dweller on regiment in the middle.
Yeah, in the middle by the house, which is a house and it's impassable, just in case the boys forgot.
Yep.
That's 7 wounds. You'll need a 7 twice to pick it up, I think.
Yep.
Surely Cavern Dweller can. No, I think it's fine.
Life Leech 3. Jesus.
I know that Life Leech 3 just makes my heart hurt.
Yeah, so they're staying. They're fine.
They're staying, yeah.
All right.
So and again, the regiment they're not there to set the world on fire. They are literally there just to be in the way while the hordes grind things down and prevent flanks and other shenanigans.
Maybe he's about to roll the triple charge. I'm not sure. He move the wound tokens on the units a bit. Okay. Yeah, I think he just forgot to move the token, but I think he's doing the double or triple charge.
Yeah.
Here in the center.
Ooh, that was a painful start.
So that would have been 6 wounds from the Lord on Frostfang. And now 11 attacks from the Cavern Dweller. Converts to 7 wounds.
Ow.
And that's before the ice elementals go.
I didn't know. I think that it's the Cavern Dwellers and the Frostfangs that are the threat here, aren't they?
Yeah.
They just don't care about that defense 5 fearless
at
block.
All.
It's, you might as well be goblins at that point, haven't you?
Yeah. 10 and an 8 on the nerve check will definitely pick it up.
Okay, so I mean, I think he was lucky to lose as little as he did there. he had a very real possibility of losing all 3 of those units. And while losing a horde hurts, he has now still got 2 tree herders and a horde, and then 2 more hordes coming along.
Yep. And the regiment's still blocking one of the cavern dwellers. It's
still blocking. The horde is still there, and because the horde's still there, you've got a flank with the tree herder.
Yep.
It looked painful that turn, and it was, but it could actually have been a lot worse.
Yep. Hey, Rashad.
What's rolling here then? Or is this still? Oh no, it's not. It's done. So.
I think that should be. Yeah,
it's 2.
Yeah, it's 2. Okay.
Yeah, these guys are wasting
right.
time.
This is a really hard one to call now of what you do, because you either commit the horde of the trees into the big brawl in the middle, or you double up to block Harim and the horde coming in. But that's not a pleasant grind there. Actually, Harim's it's the melee 4 on Harim that it could do a lot or it could do nothing.
Yeah.
Melee 4 is always feels very swingy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's whenever I use it.
Interesting.
Nice.
Okay, so we're seeing a charge from the Gur Panthers into
on the hill.
Elsa.
That's on the hill. Yeah.
Yeah. Let it go.
Let it go. Yeah, come on. They're ice queens. Of course they're Elsa. Like,
I like that charge a lot.
I like that a lot, actually. Too. And gives you the overrun.
You're very right. It does. I wonder what he clips first, but
if he does kill Elsa, he can overrun into the rears or flanks.
So they're 11, 13 and self-inspiring, so it shouldn't kill her.
Well, but it'll mean no more surgy surge.
Except for the other one. Well, yeah, but the other one's all the way over right.
All the other side, yeah.
I can't be shot.
I think for this turn, I think heal is probably the more important one. Because Ed is so he has taken the flank, and as well, Radiance of Life. It's something, isn't it?
Yeah, so he has. Yeah, so as you're saying, he did corkscrew with his tree herder into the flank of the ice elemental horde there.
So he's opted to go for the block and double. So yeah, double charging with both hordes. I like that doubling up means that he's not getting flanked by Harim at least, and
the cavern dweller's still bottled up over here, so it doesn't have to worry about.
Bottled up by that piece of terrain it can't get through.
Right.
Well, Steve, just because your Panthers can't kill anything doesn't mean they can't today.
They've got vicious, haven't they, the Panthers? They're okay.
I think they might.
I mean, they probably won't kill it, but I have to.
Yeah, they've only got 6 attacks, I think, haven't they? They're not
6 attacks and 4s.
Yeah. But again, they should do a point of damage, and that's all you need. Shutting heal down at this stage is massive, actually. There you go. Can at least we can claim Strider-proof terrain or something we came up with, rather than Adam incorrectly claiming thick chaff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have the video evidence on thick chaff. We can go back and find the.
Oh no, I'm very aware.
Thick chaff is my baby. Okay.
Yeah, I told him as he made that spurious claim.
What did he try to say? I missed this. What happened?
He said, the Northern Kings have been calling it thick chaff. Sort of messaged him, it's not bloody Northern Kings, it was actually. he said it on live stream, and I could just hear the world go, what?
As Adam doesn't realize, he just admitted that he never watches the Dash 28 streams. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah, because I mean, it wasn't just one game. We've kind of been rolling with that for a while now. So.
Yeah. That's been.
I called myself thick on live stream once too, so that's okay.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm thick Jaff. Who knows?
It was one of the first ones. It's one of the first ones I saw. It came up. Thick Jaff. Because there was a debate of what to call it with different types of.
Oops. I'm in the wrong.
So we were Felix was involved.
Sorry, we were watching a different game for a second.
Are you watching Alex?
Well, we have an update on that game too. They have made it to the bottom of 5.
What
we can catch him.
Between those two?
We can totally catch him.
We can catch him.
Yeah, the hard part is the last 2 turns are typically faster because there's not much left alive. So
depends on how many objectives are
in
still left on the table. If they burn most of the objectives, it'll be fast. Yeah. If all the objectives are still there and they're trying to figure out how to cover them, then it might take a while.
Yep.
So Ed's back.
So that right-hand objective, I don't think there's much that can be done to avoid the stalemate there now.
No.
Because Ed spins to face. The foxes run away. Because all they need to do is in turn 6 run back down and contest it again.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Ed wants to burn it.
And he's got
The other
nothing
thing
that can
is, by
shoot.
leaving, I find also by on the left flank, the Gur Panther's leaving to go after the Ice Queen. He was probably going to lose that exchange over there anyways because of the shooting for Ed against Ed. And so he's basically like, yeah, sure, take the token, but now you can leave your expensive horde over here and we'll deal with the rest. And I think there's still plenty of time for him to do it.
Why is Ed moved not engaged with the Wildfather?
I think because he might be about to throw these Gur Panthers in the way of everything for another turn.
Are they charging? I see. Okay.
I don't know. I think he's trying to throw chaff in the way instead of committing the Wildfather on this turn. I don't know that he'll be able to do it though.
Just figuring out angles and such. Oh.
Yeah, it's fruit.
All right.
Looks like it. So they're not charging. They're just standing.
Yeah, they're just in the way. Come get me, bro.
I like it because if they do break the left horde, combine those two, then you're splitting up the multi-charges, and that's the really important thing.
Right. That's really what
we've just seen the strength of a multi-charge.
And with all the heal that Ed has, and the Radiance of Life and everything, like if he can, like you said earlier, if he gets it into a grind, he'll win out in the end. If it's 1-on-1. Yeah.
I mean, the Green Lady is quite. I mean, her heal's not massive anymore, is it? Is it only heals 6? Is it something like
6 or 8?
I can look right now.
It's 6.
Used to be 8. Yeah, it's gone down 2. But still, I mean, healing the horde that's on 8 damage, I think would be the best call here because then it stops the shooting being an auto kill. Because at the moment the Ice Elemental horde on the left, I think the obvious next target will be assuming they kill the Ice Elementals in combat with the Tree Herder in the flank and that one. I think the obvious next target would be for the left-hand side horde to spin and shoot at them.
Yeah.
But if you can get a bit of heal into that, it stops it being such an easy pickup.
Yeah,
and it looks like he has abandoned that right-hand token with the Force Warden and is coming around to threaten the rear of the Giant or the other Ice Queen.
Interesting choice.
I mean,
I guess maybe he's like not expecting Tom to burn the token.
It's only the bottom of 2.
Yeah, like
if I were Tom, I would still burn it only because those foxes have more than enough speed to swing right round the top of that building and go for that top middle token.
Yeah.
Game. But maybe Ed's just decided that he doesn't want to have that unit in a stalemate where he's not going to gain anything from it all game.
And I think that might have been the heal roll.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, he did get 4.
Yeah,
6 dice. That's
very nice. Yeah, so that means that then the Icy Breath really shouldn't do much.
And then on to combat, I guess.
Right. Come on, Steve. See if they can do better than yours.
It's at least 1 wound. What's the Ice Queen's defense?
4, I think. She's fairly sturdy as Woods is good.
Yeah. 10, 12.
She also has a snare, but I'm guessing they hit her in the flank.
Yeah, I think it's a flank there. But that's
just 1 wound. So that's 1 short of a waiver.
That's actually hilarious. But I mean, the difference between a waiver and just the wound in that case isn't much different.
Oh, that's the elite roll.
12 hits, nice.
12 hits. 3 elites didn't convert any of them, unfortunately. I don't think. No. Right, they hit on 4s.
And landed up with 5 wounds.
But this is the scary bit is hopefully the Tree Herder.
Yeah.
Oh, 15 hits.
Hitting on 3.
16 hits.
Crush 3.
Crush 3.
Crush 3. So anything but in the flank, that's 13 wounds. That'll put them on snakes.
So yeah, that's
Ouch.
And then this is the strength of Edgeless, isn't it? Is that you hit it, you don't quite kill it, and then the tree herders just.
Yeah.
And we questioned, didn't we, why he ran the tree herder forward rather than back up? And that's actually exactly why.
That's exactly why. Yeah, that
because
flank
he
charge.
wants the tree herders out in front.
You want it in front of
for
the
flank.
for the flank charge.
But that's where I feel like a lot of the tree herder value comes in those flank charges. And because he's on that 50
massively.
mil small little baby base, he just corkscrews, and he has a lot of mobility to do that.
Yeah.
And he's counting on the, how tough those tree herders are, isn't he? That it's worth the risk just for what he gained there, really.
Right.
Mm.
So have we tried to? Has he tried to sidestep them back behind?
He has, and I don't like that at all because he's not managed it.
It's gonna be bad. So now well, but they can still.
The thing is, if he goes forward now, though, he can just get corkscrewed into the flank.
Yeah.
They probably can make that charge if they go straight forward and just pivot left. They'll tap him and then get picked up and placed.
Yeah.
Maybe not, though. He would have to move the units to the right to achieve it. I think he might actually be blocked him.
Yeah. So shouldn't he have walked the horde forward to try
I
to
think
block?
the problem is
if
if he brought the horde too far forward, he was going to get flank charged.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that horde on 2 damage can just swing 90 degrees left and straight into its flank.
All right, so the regiment holding up the cavern dweller did another 3 wounds again, which
It
will heal off
exactly the
next
amount of
turn.
life each.
Yep. Doesn't pick it up, and now he's rolled the both hordes attacks combined for 17 hits. Yep. And he converts all 3.
Oh,
so 20 hits. If I'm doing math right.
Yeah, I think that's right. What hits looking for what, 4s?
9.
Yeah.
9 damage. Pretty much spot on average.
And a 9. That's 18. That's enough to pick them up, right? They're dash 17?
Twice. Yeah.
Yeah. That's big.
That's a big deal.
That is
huge,
very big. And I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then what do you guys do here?
This is a really interesting one. Do you turn one of the... Is the left-hand side horde in arc for...
Yes, it is. So you got to be careful.
There's not really an easy way to turn into that middle brawl. I don't think.
Yet. Not yet.
I think you do double up against the giant, don't you?
I think so. I mean, yeah, it's got a flank and a front there next turn. I mean, the beauty is, of course, is that Ed's got Surge, so he can still, if he wants to turn into that combat going on there, he can do.
Right.
It
looks like he's decided to just leave them there, and they've gone on to the top.
Yeah, I don't dislike that. That's all of a sudden bringing that forest warden down feels like an excellent move.
Yeah.
What were you saying about the surge though for the giant? Because the giant doesn't have any surge.
No, it's surging
Ed has surge, sorry, so
the hordes into it.
Even choosing not to turn at the moment, he still has options.
The forest warden has surge
even though he's,
so
yeah.
And I mean, we're also talking
away. Oh, I don't like that because it's got surge.
Yeah,
that horde just surely he won't stay there.
Yeah, I thought you were saying that the giant has surge, and I was when do giants have can be surged?
That'd be awesome.
About to say, did your legendary giant just turn and run away? I'm pretty sure there's some card of yours that gets revoked if you do that.
He's afraid of trees. Okay, Mike, leave him alone. It's very spooky when they start throwing their limbs everywhere.
Has he put the it's used the individual to I'm not sure for what game though.
He's trying to keep them off the flank.
Is he trying to prevent a double? What is he doing?
I'm not sure.
I think he's trying to make it so that this horde can't easily flank charge him. If he puts the individual far enough over and the giant has to go far enough over, then they wouldn't be an arc. I guess.
Yeah.
He would at least have to surge them into the flank, which he can do anyway. So
the risk
I think that's
we're doing that, of course, is that if you go too far, you're then putting the horde you're charging in the flank as well.
Right. And I think that's what Tom realized, is that he can't really get the individual over to make the giant slide over anymore, and it just wasn't going to be worth the trouble.
Yeah,
because you're not really getting out of arc.
I mean, Tom still has those big hitters in the middle, so I wonder what their targets are this term, because the Ice Elemental Hordes, while big, are not really the damage dealers so much for Tom here as that baby dragon and the Cavern Dweller.
Yeah.
Like those Gur Panthers right in the middle, just in everything's way right now. I mean, yeah, you can shoot at them with Ice Elementals and
charge
Surge.
was inspired. I really liked that. That was, as you said, it's just blocked everything there.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he wants, because, like, sure, Tom can get rid of those Panthers easy, but he can't multi-charge any of Ed's other units while he's getting rid of the Panthers, which is what Tom really wants to do. He really wants to multi-charge stuff and pick it up.
Yeah.
It is only the top of 3. This has been a swift and brutal game.
It really is. It has been a swift game.
I know. Look at this. What did we start at for units? Like, I think they were 13, 11 for Ed for units.
I've lost count. They were at 10 and 9. Let me do another count.
Yeah, do the math, Mike. Okay.
I'll do it.
Come on now.
This really feels like a key turn. This one.
Yeah.
I do feel like Tom has to do some damage this turn. Otherwise, the heal and the radiance of life is just going to start chipping away everything that he's achieved so far.
So if I'm counting correctly, Ed is now up by 1 scoring unit on Tom, I think.
So after 2 turns, Ed lost, 4 units? And Tom lost 4?
Oh, no, I think I missed one. I think
5. Ed had 5, right?
Ed started with...
so Ed's lost 5 and Tom's lost a few.
Ed started with 13.
So, the Cavern Dweller should be free this turn, shouldn't it? It should, after this turn, it should kill that regiment, and then it should be also back to full health with Life Leech.
Yeah.
And that unit's in a fantastic position there just to be a real pain. Also, Ed's line is sort of split into a V there, hasn't it? And that Cavern Dweller is right at the point of the V. They could just threaten everything all at once.
Can I just see the little 50 mil Monsty boy that's got 2 damage on him? What's his arc?
It's the Frostfang, yeah.
Can he see that horde there on the front?
Like
Yes, you can.
He can. He's in their flank.
Yeah,
he would have to.
So
he
he
would have
can
to be able to fit through this gap, though. I don't think he can.
I'm going to say, is there an overhang there with the?
Yeah, there's no gap there.
No, but is he nimble? Is there enough?
He is
nimble, yeah.
But I don't think that's a 50 millimeter gap. I'm not sure.
No, it would be close, wouldn't it?
I mean, hold on. Let me put my fingers on the computer screen. I don't know. He might be able to. If he saw it, he might be able to.
I know. He's
okay,
going for the Panthers.
He's just making sure those Gur Panthers are really dead.
Yeah, but now he's kind of.
Could have pulled that off. I liked the flank. If you could have got it to pull it off.
I think you might be right there, actually. I think there's potentially a chance I could have made that.
I think there might be space
but it would have been
stuck in there.
It would have been pixel close. It would have been the sort of charge you could only do on Universal Battle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, or we talk about, we say there's those Universal Battle only charges, but there's also those charges that happen on the table because someone nudged something at some point that probably wasn't where it was supposed to be.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so the Frost Queen's gone into.
That's one way to do it.
Elsa
for the win.
Actually, I really like that because of where the building is. He can't now get the flank back. He can't clear them. So maybe he can though, because when he disengages an inch, he might have just enough angle to then turn and go but because basically he has to clear her,
right,
and then clip.
But if she does get a wound,
which is what we're going to check now.
Well, she's only got 1 attack. She can't. She doesn't got damage.
Oh, she's 1 attack.
You just walk straight through her.
But I'm not sure they can walk straight through her because you still have to clear her first. So your move has to end clear.
Right.
So you couldn't charge, clip, and then still be touching her.
Right.
So he would need to.
Right, and you can't go forward far enough to clear her without hitting the building. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
But then what Ed could just do
might not kill her in 1 turn.
They might have. But of course, what Ed could just do is back up with the horde in the front and then surge it back in.
Yeah.
So, disengage, back up, make the charge easy in the flank, and then just surge him back in.
Yeah.
Which is the power of a surge.
Or take this sneaky charge in the rear.
Or just take that juicy rear charge. Yeah.
And not worry about it.
Juicy booties. Giant booties.
Because actually, killing a...
Oh!
What the hell?
Let's change dance partners, shall we?
Yeah, changing idea.
They look the same?
Because
No.
it's now gone from a flank to a rear. But that's so much worse because then that's not blocking the flank at all.
Yeah.
Or the other one, yeah.
It had to be the other way around because the building was what was making that worthwhile. That
Can't
they
even
can now
do that,
easily
though.
just block.
I thought the giant was in the flank of this horde.
It was in the flank. So yes, it was definitely.
So he shouldn't. He's not supposed to be able to front charge that.
Okay, hashtag.
To be honest, I think Ed
scandal.
will allow it because it's worse.
It's way better for Ed. Yeah.
That's the kind of cheating that you can get on board with.
Yeah.
It's like,
Sorry,
sure,
mistake,
yeah.
My opponent didn't realize that his cheating was.
Front, go for it. Yes, that's fine. Yeah, we're happy with that.
I'm not sure. Why?
We need one of those. Not sure if my opponent is trolling me or really doesn't see it kind of graphics.
That was like one of mine was when I first started playing Kings of War. And Brindley kind of like just was like, "You're going to a tournament I'm running," and like, "Here, play games." And I was like, "I don't know what I'm doing." And I had Stormwind Cab, and I was like, "Oh look, I have a charge!" And I charged them into a giant horde of heavy pike from Kingdoms of Men.
Oh dear.
Yeah, you put us on the entire thing going, what have I missed?
Let's just say I don't do that
She wouldn't have
now.
done that unless there was a trap.
Yeah, he was like, "I'm not sure if you don't know what you're doing or if I'm missing something."
Right.
Reverse psychology.
Yeah, I had my girlfriend played a one-day tournament that I ran a year or so ago because I needed one more person to count for Masters scoring. So I had Ray Shield show her how to play with his rat list, and we were like, she'll be fine. So fast forward to round 3, she's playing on the top table against Alex Chavez, and is one die roll away from beating him and winning the tournament. And yeah, so she didn't, right? She needed like a 7, she rolled a 5, and then she was like, "Okay, I think I get Kings of War. I don't think I need to play anymore. That seems good." And like, yeah, we're like, "That's fine. You don't need to come back."
It's like,
Good.
don't worry about it.
You have completed Kings of War. So the Icelandic Horde has just shot off the Ger Panthers.
Yeah, it's not
As
surprising.
expected.
I'm so shocked.
And then
And just did a few wounds to the other one.
Ice Horde, frozen and did a few wounds to the... I mean, the healing was very helpful there, really.
Yeah.
So combat, 5 more
Combat
wounds on the. So not quite anything,
It's a
but life leads
And of
3.
course, life leads 3. Cavern Dweller will not die. It's just been over there making mulch for 3 turns, right?
That is
Yes. It now has all the firewood it needs for the winter.
Right.
life leads 3. That is nasty.
It's very nasty, isn't it?
Inappropriate, okay?
Isn't it like 16-18 defense 5 as well? So it's not on a...
Yeah,
it's on a really tough little bit. And again, it's that 50 mil base. It's
it's two 10 points as well, Elliot.
it's really, really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
CS
And it
3,
hits
life leads 3, Strider.
And it hits on a 3.
Oh,
Minimum 7
Yeah.
minimum 7 attacks, could be up to 12.
but the melee 3 is what makes it for me. It's,
Yeah.
That's the big downside of Giants is that the variable attacks are fine, but when that turn you do roll 7 attacks and you're on melee 4, you're doing 2 to 3 damage often.
Yeah.
It's just not a lot.
Nope. As someone that would run 3 giants in her lists, I can confirm not a lot of damage.
Not a lot of damage.
Okay.
I've never been a fan of Giants. I've never ever used them.
So the Ger Panthers have unsurprisingly died in the middle of that.
That would have been an upset, if not.
If not, yeah.
But I don't see an easy reform here. Oh no, because the left-hand tree herd is not facing them, is it?
No, the left-hand tree herd is pointing off towards the horde.
Yeah.
He's just staring lovingly at the horde of trees that he's
Like
now
stroking
herded
them.
out.
So he'll be
tree
he'll be
herd
casting Surge on something next turn then instead of charging, I guess.
Yeah.
unless he can see
Well,
these
because that
guys.
tree herder, he could maybe charge out there. It would
6, 9,
be a
12.
tricky one with the angle.
What's its speed? Only 6, right?
Yeah.
Because that horde might be better off surge flanking the cavern dweller. So the horde that's on 6 damage, I would be looking. Oh, it's turned.
It's turned towards them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not daft.
Oh, because it's a rear on the Wiltfather, so you can do that safely.
Yep.
Very nice.
This is it's a very swingy game. Like it seems like Ed has a good
swingy,
solid edge at the end of every one of his turns, but then Tom manages to bring it back even. I feel like
and those until Ed takes out those triple hammers, the cavern dwellers, and it's definitely not going to be over.
Yep.
I feel like every turn
any of those in the flank or rear. And also, they're through units that can grab objectives a little bit easier than Ed's hordes can.
What's he doing now with his movement of his?
Now again, that forest shambler.
So he's just spun around the Lord and Frostfang in the middle there.
Which way is he facing now? Then doing a.
He's facing forward again. Yeah.
Okay. Now that forest shambler on 6 damage, that easily has a flank surge now on the ice elementals, because it can go forward and just turn slightly, so it's going to be in the flank.
Yep. And this tree herder really has nothing to do other than surge them into the flank.
Other than surge, exactly. Yeah.
Looks like the giant does 5 wounds.
Yeah, double 6 twice. Shouldn't do anything.
Fine. Yeah. And now.
Oh, okay, this is a very powerful rule.
Elsa.
And now Elsa. Can she be a hero? Elsa. Can she power 1 through?
Whoa, wait, hello.
Oh, not even bothered.
Ice Queen.
Ice Queen.
There she is.
Ice Queen, yeah.
There we go, Elsa. You can do this.
And she disorder them.
You're probably looking up her melee stats.
So quickly, no, that's missed. Yeah, it's melee 5.
No. Okay then.
Oh dear.
Now we got 3. I mean, all that melee 4, it's still not guaranteed to kill Harum in 1. But if he does, that would be very helpful for Ed. Yeah, surely. Surely you got to take the horde in. You don't. Yeah. And that's why you had it the other way around, Tom.
Yep.
Because the building prevented this.
Yep.
Stop that from happening.
And there it is.
Yeah. Now, can the tree herder see Elsa? Doesn't look like it.
No.
No.
Okay. Well, that's something at least. So what does the Wiltfather do? Because there is...
I mean, you kind of want to get rid of the Lord on Frostfang, but then you're going to get a cavern dweller.
You do, but... Yeah, exactly, and there's a lot of nerve there, and even then, even if you charge it, it can still see the flank of the tree herders on 5 damage, because it can just disengage and nibble into them.
Yeah.
So you're kind of really banking on killing.
Killing Rim. And there you go.
I prefer that one. I think because you're forcing a surge rather than an auto charge. The only thing that can get him now in the flank is with a surge.
Yeah. And the only thing surgeable over here are these ice elementals on the hill, which you're hoping are going to get killed by your flank surge.
Yep. Exactly.
So this is one of those, yes, it'll be brilliant if it all works.
Yeah. They could really do with killing Harum. I'm not sure the tree herders, Wiltfather's within Cloak of Death range for Harum. But if not, I would be flying the...
6 inches, yeah, he's in there.
Is it?
Okay, so yeah, it's effectively brutal, which is helpful.
Effectively brutal, yep. And I believe the Alex Coos and Ryan Munsell game has now finished.
Oh, so close, guys. Yep, so he's going for the surge into the flank.
Absolutely. That is the
because
play.
That's what the list is for.
Yep.
What's wonderful, of course, is that the elite also impacts the surge.
That's fancy.
So the
But he won't be within. Oh wait, which one of them actually has?
It's 9 inches. So
It's
it
9
might
inches.
be.
It's nice because of the horn.
It's 9 inches, but it's 9 inches on the Wilkfather,
Yes.
and he's all over here. 3.
So it's,
so it's
it's
not,
currently in on the.
currently in, but if they end up in the flank, they're not
not
going to be elite anymore. Yeah.
Honestly, I mean more for the surge cast.
Oh, for the surge cast. I got you. Sure.
Yeah. I believe it's the only instance in the game now where you actually get elite on spells, because all the other spellcasters don't actually have elite on their spells. Like the elves just get a special rule that says reroll wounds. It's just
Well, it's like Master of Magic is the rule for elite on spells, right? Like that was what they kind of wrote it in.
yeah. So it's not technically elite.
No, it's just elite for spells, which kind of makes sense for some of those.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But it'll mean that later on, when the new supplement comes out with the new spells, you won't get your elite on those, because it lists the spells that you get the rerolls on. So, like, for example, the elves say specifically on the spells, or for the Ice Queen says on Bane Chant, Anti-Breath and Heal, Surge, etc.
Yeah, it says specifically.
Unless they update her rules too.
It's just future proofing. It means that if Alchemist's Curse comes out again, that
right.
You
so at this
point,
point,
you still get to like pick later on what spells they want to.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So at this point, this Forest Warden is over here, kind of unnecessarily, when it could be burning a token or continuing to contest a token or something, and it's moved to an area where there aren't really any objectives for it to pick up.
I mean, it's still only bottom of 3, and it's now taking itself out of charge range of the foxes, because a rear charge, would actually be quite scary there for it. There's still 8 attacks, I think, out there, and so it would be a decent amount of attacks in the rear.
There's a heal roll from Green Lady. She's going to heal 4 off of
another heal.
That horde. Yep.
So that was on 9. Now back down to 1.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? No, it wasn't on 42 damage, John.
I'm not bitter.
Yeah. Word of advice: do not roll double ones twice on regenning horsemen.
Yeah, that's a bad thing to do.
If you do 42 damage, ended the game on 9 damage.
That's
ran away.
Thank you. Actually, yes, you're right. That is mean. That is mean. Exactly.
Wait a second. Did Ed just forget to surge? He just rolled 54 dice. And I think that's the 2 hordes on Grim.
Yeah.
What's it doing?
I think he forgot he forgot to cast surge. We'll see if Tom lets him do it.
Oh, that is massive if he's forgotten.
Oh, well, he killed Harem too.
That's game swingy if he's forgotten, because then he's in the flank with the other horde. And
why? Like, I feel like you wouldn't move there if you weren't intending on surging. So, like, hopefully, Tom.
That is so textbook surge. It's
right.
Did you not see it? Not even think about it.
Well, he cast heal with the Green Lady and then was like, "Okay, that's my shooting phase. Time to fight," and forgot about it, I guess.
And they're saying Ed is no fun in the chat, so maybe there will be no surging.
Yeah, right.
I think that was just for murdering the
Grim.
I know, murdering the giant.
I mean, it was excellent that he killed the giant, but I can't look at that. I'm too busy looking at this.
Right. The train wreck about to happen. Oh no.
I mean,
this is all going well.
7 hits. That's not.
Oh,
it's not vicious, is it?
No.
Oh man.
Putting it in exactly. Oh no, he can't laugh at you, Becker. He's got to get the counter over to it and go, "Oh, it's not in combat."
Oh, wait a second. Right. Which might be what just happened.
There we go.
But
Tom?
Oh, Tom.
Tom, gold star.
Yep.
Okay. Someone revoke his dojo card, but he's a lovely man.
Right.
Is it one of those like he's just in the region where he has to be dojo, so it's more like he's just born into it, you know?
Yeah.
Can't blame him.
Yeah.
Plus,
it could
if
be.
you talk to him so
understanding
long,
is
you
that
can't be mean to him.
yeah, my understanding is that like Texas is enormous, and it seems like there's a lot of stuff there, and there is. It's just Texas is enormous, so they're all really far apart. So even though they're like, hey, we're all from Texas, it's like, oh, how close are you to these other guys? Like, oh, it's like a 5-hour drive. Like,
oh yeah,
okay.
If you over the UK onto Texas, it's unbelievable the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I kind
it
of
might
forget.
just be that like
just
he's
how big the
in
US
the town where all the dojo guys are, so that's what.
When I was over there, when was that? Last
looks
May.
like they've held, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, they
10
held,
damage
I
on a
think.
5, so.
How many damage did he do? 10.
10 damage, but then on
And
a
then
5,
rolled a 5 for nerve, and he needed what? A
7.
17, so 7.
So now he's showing off his bum to the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is hanging.
I mean,
hanging
actually,
there in
damage-wise, he's pretty much spot on where I expected there.
Yeah.
If I
Well, I'm
go a
not
little
worried about
over,
the
actually.
damage. It's just like, I mean, 5 is a reasonable nerve roll, but he was just asking for average with a 7. And...
Yeah. Yeah, you'd expect about 9 damage.
Oof. All right. So that's a
He's
slightly
giving up
worse
a rear
position.
charge there,
for Officer, right?
That's a hell of a lot of damage on that horde that should now get picked up at some point, I would think. I think that the bigger thing there was one-shotting Harim. We didn't sort of mention it at the time because we were mesmerised by the lack of surge.
What's going on?
But actually killing Harim there is huge because it stops that the sort of the one-shotting and the serious damage from those heavy hitters from the Cavern Dwellers and from the Lord and Frostfang, because you're surely not going to send the Lord and Frostfang into the front of that horde because that would be, fool's errand. I'm not sure there's many places that Ice Queen can hide now either.
Still only turn 4.
Yeah. There's not going to be a lot left, is there, by turn 6?
Yeah, so they are down to 6 scoring units each.
Yes, Steve, I think you're right. I think the elite item does give blanket elite. So you can get... So...
oh, yeah, so there's 2 ways of getting elite on spells. Blessing of the Gods and Aura.
Yeah, but I mean, Blessing of the Gods, then you're paying 30 points, I guess, for that. So you must
Yeah,
hopefully you've got some good spells you want that elite on.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that would be worthwhile on.
No.
Not one.
I'll tell you what gets elite. The Familius in the Varanga list.
Oh, yeah, for the Megas Conclaves.
Megas Conclave. And
again, is that actually elite? Or is that...
I think it's just elite, isn't it? I think...
well, I've got the list here. No, it class it as a Famulus, and that is... No, it's a specific one. You can reroll all dice that score a natural and a modified 1. So it's as elite, but it's not actually elite.
Yeah.
And it specifies which spells it goes for, so absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so
yeah,
Tom
it was a get away from the ideas of like standard bearers giving them the loot or giving them the boomstick, and they would get more value out of the item than say like a non-elf standard bearer would.
Yeah, exactly.
So Tom has taken the rear charge here on the Forest Shamblers like we expected. He has walked his Ice Elemental Horde forward off the hill to threaten the flank of the Wolf Father, although he could torch through into them if he wanted to. He's turned the Lord on Frostfang to face the Wolf Father, and he's charged his Cavern Dweller into the front of the other Tree Herder.
Yeah.
And now he's monkeying around with these Snow Foxes for some reason.
I wonder if he just engaged the Cavern Dweller. I wonder if he's going to charge or not, because maybe the shooting might be better.
Also, have we actually seen anything be burned? We haven't seen a token burned yet this game.
We have not seen a token burned yet.
No, they've all left all of them.
Well, here comes his shooting. Whatever shooting he has. I guess he has heal. that he can cast. Yep.
Yeah, or potentially Surge. Is maybe surging the
Oh yeah, he's probably surging these elementals
surging
into
the
the flank
horde
of the
into the flank of the Wilt Father. Yeah.
Yeah. And it looks like he needs probably just one.
One, yeah.
And he's got
Effectively Surge 9.
Yeah, he's got range with both of them.
Yeah.
So sure, try that one first.
I can say
heal.
go for the healer.
I was going to heal
Yeah.
first.
Heal.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I
I mean, you should. You should always do it, but
you should. But
I would get the Surge first.
Yeah, I would surge first and then cast heal.
Yeah.
That's slightly unnecessary risk.
Living life on the edge. Good heal.
All right. Picks up 3. And now the surge. Looking for 1 success. And does get
Drum roll.
He's fine, but as every Empire of Dust and Undead player knows, a 1 in Surge with 9 dice is very failable.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I don't think you can talk to a single Undead player that won't have at least 2 or 3 horror stories.
Yeah.
Like
they'll always make a 15 in
and I
Surge.
needed 1 success, and I rolled all 3s.
Yeah.
Or for example, you got Lightning Bolt 7, and you need to hit something, just score 1 damage to force a nerve check, and you completely fail to hit.
Yeah. What I recommend, John, is don't do that. Don't do it, John. Make sure you hit next time. On that horde, that regiment that was on, it was only on 30 something damage at that point.
There was only 30 something damage at that point. Yeah, it was still very dead.
All right, so that was the rear charge with the ice elementals into the forest
So
shamblers.
even with a 3, he pops it.
Still good enough, but super close to snakes there. Snake eyes there would have been something.
Have we
Yeah,
actually seen the
devastated.
Snake Eyes yet this game?
We have
No.
not, I don't think.
No, we haven't.
We haven't got to use the Snake Eyes or the hashtag UB dice.
No.
I still think the flank was the right move, even though he's lost the horde from it, and even though he healed some of the damage back. I think the damage done was worth the exchange there.
Yeah, I think so.
The problem is, though, he doesn't have any ranged attacks to cause damage to just pop it.
He doesn't, but he does have
Two
enough
press units.
little thing. Because actually, if you look where that horde with 3 damage is there, I reckon the tree herder can, because before we were showing its flank, I think that tree herder could have backed up and nimbled into it.
Yeah.
Um,
And he's got
especially
two,
seeing as they're on the hill there, so that it's higher, so you can definitely see them.
Yeah, he's got two untouched hordes, hasn't he, Ed? Still, and
Yeah.
Exactly, he does. It's
everything else is taking a battering on in Tom's list. Has got
I mean,
some-
I would assume that the right hand side forest shamblers are now just going to go token grabbing.
Good God, yeah. So that's a cavern
So
dweller.
Cavern Dweller got all of it,
attacks.
yeah. 7 wounds.
Ooh.
Rolled a 6 for its
7
D6 to
wounds to
attack.
defense 6.
Whoa!
And rolled an 11
Does that
And a 10.
and a 10.
17?
Yeah, dash 19 for tree herders. Dash 19.
Yeah.
Dash,
Yeah, they used to be
Dash
18,
18,
20, didn't they? Yeah.
yeah, it's 18
Dash
on
18,
the.
yeah. Ooh,
Awful
that was
close.
a bit too close. That's what we call a squeaky bum time roll, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Fine by 1 again.
Yeah.
That's too close. Too close.
Yeah,
And here
that's
we have
another
the
7 damage.
flank attacks on the Wilt Father, gets 20 hits.
Oof.
Is that 7 more damage? Am I? Gosh, yeah, 7
13
damage
rounds
from.
total.
That's a lot of damage.
13 on the Wilt Father plus 5 is 18, and he's dash 19. So he's actually okay.
Oh.
By 1 again.
Again. That was lucky. That
Living
Yeah,
dangerously.
That was lucky.
We have an
Yeah.
update from the other game. Ryan and Alex finished. We did not get there first.
what time did it start?
About 5 hours ago.
2:30 Eastern time.
Oh dear.
7:30 British.
Oh
4 only 4 and a bit hours ago. Yeah.
yeah, John. As Steve says, let it
Let it
go.
And let it go. Yes, but it's not a story. It's not funny if it's not going to. It's not
become
going
a
to
meme.
be. Yeah, just come back.
This one definitely is done.
Yeah.
More bloody than I expected from lots of melee for high defense things, just pillow fighting with each other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but also lots of flank charges, lots of shooting,
Yeah.
lots of they've just gone at it.
I mean, I'm really glad Tom brought this list actually because it's two lists that want to do similar sort of things.
Exactly. Yeah, they're both kind of monster mash, large infantry lists. They both surge.
Absolutely, yeah, and for both of them as well, that the real pain doesn't come from the hordes; it comes from the 50mm base units.
Yep.
So
and as we
really
see
nice
with the
little
tree herder charge here.
Yep, tree herders take a flank on the Lord.
Corkscrewed in, so that should there should be some damage, shouldn't there, on the
Lord?
It should at least
No, I don't think the horde's been hit yet.
I think but it's been taking
Cloak of Death.
Yeah, it's
Cloak
a
of Death, yeah. I think the 3 on the hill might be the
Cavern Dwellers.
might actually belong to the Lord. It should do.
It might belong to the Lord, or it might have been on the Cavern Dweller that's on the side of the hill. He may have just life leached that 3 back.
I don't think any heal has hit the Lord, and the Lord's have definitely been in Cloak of Death range for 3 turns.
Yeah, and he doesn't have Iron Resolve or anything like that.
No.
So Matt's joined this. He was commentating on the last game. Marathon is over. I lost 5 kilograms.
Oh my god!
You should choose your list. You should choose your game, Matt. Choose the game to watch. That's
Yeah.
Ouch,
didn't think about that. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's so easy to miss as well. The backup charges now. I think we are, as a player base, slowly getting used to it, aren't we? But we're so used to the game state being exactly as you leave it. And it's such a change in third, isn't it, that you can back up first. You know, you're so used to be able to look at everything and not have to factor in things like that.
Right. And it looks like he has moved those 3 wounds onto the Lord.
Yeah. That's not forward. Yeah.
And the Will Father has corkscrewed into the wounded horde. Yeah.
So this is where that
Cloak
of Death is really showing its strength, because to charge into the, already 4 damage is massive, isn't it, when you're looking at 18 attacks in the flank. That should kill in one go really easily. 3s and 2s in the flank with elite. In the flank, these things are terrifying, aren't they, really?
So what's going to do with the hordes on that side there?
I'd be tempted to double charge, even if you can't, actually.
And I think Tom did finally burn this token all the way over on the far right with the foxes last turn, because it's gone now.
Oh, is he going to be able to turn and search?
Oh, interesting.
Oh, I think he can. Yep.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's going to be oof.
Oh, no, he's just charging. Who needs to surge?
Who needs to surge? I'm already looking at you. I can get in there.
Yeah. Tap, pick up, and place. just a tickle.
Just stroke the back end of it.
All of a sudden, the forest just grew right beside you, and you're like, "The fuck!"
I just got done cutting down the trees here. God.
So, like I said, this game wouldn't be over until Tom's hammers have gone, and there's 2 here now that are in a scary position.
A lot of trouble. Yeah. Yeah. This has been
I would be using that horde to surge into the Ice Queen.
The Queen?
Yeah. I think she's a utility piece that would be very helpful to shut down.
Yeah.
Well, also, if you shut her down, you can then overrun forward and get towards the tokens before the whatchamacallits do.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're facing her, you're looking at her flank there, so she won't get her ensnare if you surge into her.
Yeah.
It's so weird to me that she has ensnare.
Yeah, I suppose it's the icy effect.
Ice blast, is it? On the model, she's got a big ice front on her as well.
Yeah, she's riding an ice wave, isn't she?
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it makes us fluff-wise. It's just like an interesting thing to remember when you're charging like a little individual like that.
And there's
It makes
There we go.
very sturdy.
He's listening.
Yeah. Yeah, it does make the ice queens very, very sturdy. Actually, 11-13 defense forehand and snare is, it can mean it can be 2 rounds of combat sometimes to take them off.
Yeah.
Maybe not with a horde, but is that going to be a flank? Is it there rather than?
That's going to be a flank on the ice queen.
Yeah, because actually melee 5 that could be a problem. So
Yeah.
melee 4 and snare would be a problem on them.
Yep, and you got the tree herder there to surge. So that the green lady can heal something instead.
Yeah. Well,
Which
the forest warden can search.
The forest warden. Yeah, sorry, the forest warden.
Yeah.
So that's 3
4 or 3 though.
coming off the Will Father.
I'm not sure I will be healing the Wilt Father at this stage when you've got that much damage on. Oh. Maybe I'm wrong.
You're down to 5 scoring units. You have to save them, I guess, any way you can.
Yeah, but I think I would heal the tree herder on 6 damage, because the Wilt Father is still within 1 more round of combat to die range.
Yeah, but he's also good.
So there's 1 success with the surge, I think.
Which is all he needed, right?
I think that's all he needed. Yeah.
But that melee group down there should be all Eds by the end of this turn.
Should.
Let's
see what happens.
I suppose the heal there does make the Wilt Father less likely to die to shooting.
To shooting, yeah.
So the other thing I think is
so many
hilarious.
things failed to break by 1 last turn. Like,
yeah, the stage just go with it.
I think also in this game, one of the funny things is we started off this match being like, look at all these cool strategic things they can do with the objectives. And now I feel like since turn 1, no one's really paid attention to the objectives. It's like, oh, my opponent's dead.
It's kill scenario again, actually. It's kill scenario.
In turn 1, they both really played the scenario game, didn't they? And then after that, it was, bugger it.
Just kill him.
I do think if Ed had got turn 1, he would have burnt 2 tokens.
Probably.
Oh, so straight through the queen.
Is that dead?
Yeah.
Queen is dead.
Yeah. Oh, Elsa.
So now do you walk forward into the forest? Do you turn so those foxes can't flank you?
I would turn to guard that token. Oh, no, man. I would turn to guard the token myself, but so that if the foxes do go and burn it, you can at least kill them next turn.
Stop killing any more tokens.
Yeah, exactly. It's you can do this one last thing, but then you're dead.
I guess the forest warden is looking that direction, so he can kind of, sort of.
Oh, true. Actually, yeah, it's unlikely with that terrain in the way they'll be able to get within 8 and out of charge range.
All right, so this is the flank charge on the cavern dweller, I think. 28 hits out of 36 dice.
Ow.
Yeah, that's
13
It's going to be 13 damage. It's already got 2. That'll put it at 15. And cavern dwellers are 16, 18.
Yeah.
Dead.
Dead.
So even a 4.
Just
No, just did it. Yeah.
Just, yep. And then he's rolled a d6 to sidestep away from the building.
It's big.
Yeah.
Big sidestep there.
So, I mean, I don't think it matters, does it? But Ed has given a rear charge up on the forest horde, which just shows how little he cares about those foxes.
I guess they will be hindered because they'll nick the wall if they come after him. Right?
It would be 6s and 5s.
Yeah.
With vicious.
So here's the Wilt Father, I think.
Yes, 10. No, the Wilt Father should only have 10. This is the tree herder in the flank.
Tree herder in the flank, which picks up the
Did it?
Picks up the Lord on Frostfang.
Oh, yeah.
And turns to get out of arc on the other cavern dweller.
Yeah.
Who is now not looking at anything. Ooh, that's bad.
That is a shame.
That's bad for Tom. Okay, and this will be the Wilt Father on these ice elementals here in the middle.
Yeah.
Converts his 1 elite roll.
10 hits.
10 hits.
Ow.
9 damage.
Dead.
That
7
Wilt
of 5.
Father. Who needs dragons?
Who
Who needs
Yeah,
dragons
so
when you can have an elite walking tree?
Okay,
so this was a game where both guys brought kind of large infantry monster mash lists, and we've just seen a whole lot of smashing all game. Just monsters stomping on things.
I think part of what we're seeing here is Ed's skill. Ed's been playing this list for a long time.
I agree completely.
Very good at it, using it. I actually think the Northern Alliance is a stronger list, but I think Ed's just a better player at this list. He's more used to using this type of list.
There was things that we said, I wonder why he's done that, and actually every single time it's, that's why. It's borne out completely, and is he's. I mean, this is the strength, isn't it, of picking one list and using it and using it and using it. I like to jump between lists. I'm terrible at it, but this is all Ed's playing so far. He's built this list. It's lovely. It's full Mantic model and looks lovely. And he's using it in all of UB and using it in all the tabletop, and he's just got very, very good with it. Yeah,
and it varies, doesn't it? He adds things to it, but just he adds a horde or removes a horde, adds a regiment, removes a into the right point range.
Right around with the hunter, I think, hasn't he, and a few bits like that.
That's the flexibility with the redundancy of the Forest Shamblers too. To get to the right points lever, it's just taking out one regiment or just one horde or just changing one from the other.
I've got spare trees.
Trees. I've got trees. I've got spare trees. I've got more trees.
How many trees at this point would you like?
I have this menu of trees.
All right, so now Tom is down to 3 scoring units. Adds 5,
which is an issue. It's an issue because no one's burnt any of the tokens. So
except that one.
There are still 7 tokens on the board.
6. One got burnt.
One got burnt, so 6,
the one on the far right over here finally get burned.
But yeah, that's the problem now. Is Ed's got way more units.
I mean, top of 5, bottom of 5, your hordes now can kind of sit back out there and go token.
Yeah, you have 2 clean hordes with no wounds on them that can go take 2 objectives each and stand on them and go send your little guys out to die and kill something else, and then he's got nothing to score with.
I mean, and also the little guys are tree herders, so they're not nothing, are they at all?
Right.
No, because they're trees.
They're the big defense 6 walking tanks.
Yes, Steve's commented. Ed is just a very, very clever man and super strategic.
And what's worse is he's just so lovely.
You're nice. he's wonderfully nice.
He beats you up, but you feel okay doing it.
Yeah.
I end up playing Ed in every single tournament we go to, and it's just delightful. Just for whatever reason, I always end up playing Ed, and it used to be against China rounds.
Went on I think it was Jan and Bob's event in central Manchester. Went on a pub crawl in the evening with Ed around Manchester, because that's where I went to university, and Ed taught there, I think. So it was quite good. Went around doing a pub crawl with him, and it was just good fun. Really nice to spend some time with him.
So backing up with the horde.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you.
Why would what
I suppose he's now got 2 fronts, hasn't he? With the before the tree herder was in the flank, I believe. I think he must be hoping for the for shooting.
Yeah, I mean you have a decent chance of killing the Wilt Father. He's still got 9 wounds on him.
Yeah, it's currently only it's a 10 to kill at the minute, isn't it? But...
Yeah. Put 3 or 4 wounds on him. I don't know. You don't have a lot of options here for Tom. So, do you try to get rid of a couple more of Ed's scoring units? Do you try to secure some tokens?
It's tricky to know what Tom's mindset is here at the moment, because 4 wins and 2 losses in the tournament will actually slide him fairly far down. So it's whether he is playing for the bonus points, or to preserve his points, or just to kill the bloody Wiltfather.
Right.
It'd be mean to him.
Because I guess you can get the foxes up there close to that other token in the top right and burn it. So even when Ed sends something up there to kill you, he doesn't get anything for it. He just draws something out of position.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, we're the top of 5. So Tom, I think, already moved the foxes this turn.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, so he can burn it on 6 or take it on 6. That's really what's going to come down to. So I would say if I'm Ed, I'm just going to ignore what he does because he only has really one more turn to do anything.
And he's just killed the Wiltfather with shooting.
So 3 more. Got him.
3 wounds.
9 and 11.
He got by rolling 8 and 11 on nerve check.
I think that's fair enough.
Yeah.
that Wiltfather had a bit of a blessed turn last turn, didn't he? And
he did.
hung on by the skin of his teeth.
He was up a little bit, but that's basically all Tom did this turn was turn things to face, move things up a little bit, shoot, and wait. He's not really in great position to move on to many objectives in turn 6 either. I think maybe this might be one of those, screw it, I'm going to take the moral victory and kill that stupid Wiltfather, and I don't care what happens in the last turn of the game.
He hasn't disappeared yet.
I guess they're checking to see if that 8 would have triggered the reroll for the 11.
He only did 3 damage.
Yeah.
How much was he on? He was on 9, wasn't he?
Yeah, so that puts it at 10. So you actually need a 9 to break him. And a roll of 8, which is what he got at first, would not trigger the reroll where he got the 11. I don't think.
No, he did, yeah. Yeah, so he was on 9, took 3, took him to 12.
Okay.
So yeah, the 8 would have killed him by 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, see, this is the sort of situation where Ed still has to be careful. The game is by no means over.
And at this point, you're not getting a lot of bonus points because you don't really have enough units left to sit on a lot of objectives.
And you don't have the speed even to get there if you wanted to.
Yeah, you can sit on a couple of them, but that's it.
Can we just click on the right-hand side forest shamblers? Are they within 9 of that token at the top? Yeah, easily. So they can swing 90 degrees in 6 and contest that one, and the foxes can't beat them there.
Yeah,
I think that's the move there for me personally. I would keep your forest warden in the middle because that nimble speed 6 is going to be what's going to be running onto another token at some point in.
Sure.
6.
You probably want to send this one up towards the one at the top. Send this one towards the one at the base of the hill, and send the forest warden.
Is just snuck through that gap between the Elsa and the Cavern Dweller to go into the horde. I like it. It's an in the way kind of job.
Now, do you charge the Cavern Dweller with this one? I guess that's what he's doing.
Ooh.
It kind of brings you out of position, right? Because you're not going to be within 3 of a token.
Oh, maybe he is. No, he's just shuffled slightly.
Yeah, no, because Elsa's in the way, so he can't really go any further.
Now is it
wait. There it is. Now he's just barely looking at it.
So it's just in. And I personally would still go for the top right token with the second horde.
Sure, because the Cavern Dweller can't back up and run around and come get you because there's a forest in the way blocking line of sight. But if you send the Forest Warden over to grab this one in the middle, the Cavern Dweller might be able to back up and see you. Come get
Forest
you.
Warden can get the middle one and can be protected from corkscrews fairly easily. The right-hand side horde just needs to go 90 degrees and then up, and it's within 3 there. It'll get flanked by the foxes, but who cares? It's hindered.
Yeah, it'll be hindered flank.
You've got a guaranteed 2 there. You've probably got the one in the middle as well. The third one.
Unless he goes for the middle instead. I guess he could be doing it the other way around. He could send the horde after the middle and the Forest Warden after the one at the top.
Again, it shouldn't matter. I don't like that way around though, because the unit strength wise, the foxes draw with the one.
Yeah. Whereas he would claim the top one if he sent the horde, and would be able to claim that middle one where the horde is now with the Forest Warden.
I guess he could be trying to turn the. So. Yeah, he's he's not going to be able to position so that they're out of 3 inches on it, I don't think, after they charge. So.
Yeah.
And that's probably a heal roll.
Shooting, so yes, the middle one's worth 2 bonus points, which is a very good point, which is why I might be sending the horde after it.
Yeah.
But
again,
How many times have we been like, why is Ed doing that? And then we're like, oh.
He's very clever.
But it's just bonus points. It's not victory points, right?
Yeah, just bonus points.
Okay.
So at the moment, it's +4 for bonus points if it all ends like this, but obviously there's another turn to go. So this is the horde attacking the... It's like 4 damage.
On the cabin dweller, yep. Give it something to life leech back on turn 6.
And
the cabin dweller, when it backs up an inch, potentially has a flank, does it, on the tree header? Maybe not, I said.
I don't think you can see him. I don't know if you'd get it with the...
even with an inch, yeah, that'd be an ask.
Only a couple wounds on the ice elementals from the tree herder. Not going to get them this turn.
Nope.
But
he's keeping them off objectives.
It's keeping them off objectives, which is all that matters at this point.
All right. So it looks like we're top of 6. Yeah.
I think nothing. Yeah, he didn't kill anything that turn. So it's still 3 scoring units to 4. And right now, Ed is sitting on 3 tokens. And Tom is sitting on 0. Tom has a potential backup corkscrew charge with the Cavern Dweller to get on the Forest Shamblers, partially in the forest in the middle token. He can send those foxes across the wall to try to get within 3 of the token that the Forest Warden is on to contest it. He might not be able to get close enough without charging. I think that's what he's trying to do right now.
Yeah.
Because it'd be a hindered charge, so it's kind of not worth the trouble. And he would rather
and then the Forest Warden would probably just countercharge and kill him and not have to lose his position.
Right. So what he wants to do here is get within 3 so he can contest, but be just far enough away so that when the Forest Warden, I'm sorry, not the Forest Warden. Yeah, it is a Forest Warden. Charges him, he'll be out of 3 inches and therefore no longer scoring on that objective.
Yep.
That's his plan. Whether the angles and math will work out or not, we will see.
But if the math is right, would he not probably kill the? Would he kill the? What should we call it? The snow foxes? If he charged them, so then he could just sidestep back into 3.
Yeah, you can sidestep or back up.
Yeah.
So I think he's hoping for like a 1-inch backup or sidestep.
Yeah.
Roll. It's a long shot, but you know, in situations like this when there's not much you can do, you go for these little things to at least make your opponent roll dice.
Yep. There's at least the element of chance.
There's that chance. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know that he's going to be able to work out a way to do it though, but he's going to try.
He's going to try his bestest.
He's going to try way. He'll...
Disengage the ice elementals. Not sure what he's planning on doing there. Moving to get on and trying to move to get on one of the objectives, I guess. So he's at least scoring 1. Trying to decide what to do. Someone's going to disengage. Someone's going to go somewhere. He's just trying to decide which of those 2 units is going to.
Which one of the wares?
In, out.
So yeah, if anyone has just joined and they're wondering why I'm zoomed in on such a small part of the board, it's because this is all that's left alive. Basically, this game has been one big monster mash in the middle of the table, and they've both killed I don't know what 8 or 9 units of each other's at this point or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Tom's lost a lot. Ed's lost a lot.
Yeah. So he's backed up and sidestepped. No, I agree. I don't think the Forest Warden should kill the foxes in one go, and I don't think you'd bother because to charge you'd take yourself out of 3.
Right.
Because the foxes definitely don't kill the Forest Warden in one go. Or shouldn't do.
So that does just nick that objective there, if that's where Tom wants to move them. So that'll give him a point.
Changing his mind.
Unless he decides not to.
One thing you could possibly do is, if you disengage and then back up the Cavern Dweller, you might be able to corkscrew into the Horde with the Ice Elementals. So, sorry, if you back the Cavern Dweller all the way back up, the Ice Elementals might be able to corkscrew into the Forest Wardens. Look at the Forest Shamblers. Potentially. Just to block.
Possibly. Looks like that's still in the front, so yeah, they'd probably be able to do that.
Options. So many options.
Yeah, and the ladder is so close at this point. Like everybody at the top is basically just 1 point away from each other. I think Tom came into this game. I think these guys came into the game tied, and there are 2 other people that have the same score as them, and there are people one point on either side. So every bonus point is going to matter a lot.
I think I preferred Tom's option of backing up and sidestepping. I don't think going back in, you're very unlikely to kill that tree herder. I think you're more likely to survive its charge than you are to kill it. And then if you survive, it ends on 6, then you've got at least 1 bonus point.
Yeah, and if you back up and sidestep and it charges you, then it's no longer towing that objective either, right? Oh, it's not on it to begin with. It's the Horde that's doing it.
Yeah.
And it looks like Tom has said the hell with it, and it's just going to charge the Forest Warden with the foxes.
Yeah, there's no reason not to, because it's either a stalemate and you gain nothing, you roll out the box and you kill it, it kills you and you've lost nothing.
Right.
So there's no reason not to charge.
Right, you're already going to lose. You're already going to lose the game, whether that objective is EDS or contested. You're not losing any bonus points, and you're not losing any other points if your unit dies to the counter charge, because it's not a.
That's kind of the whole point around Northern King's scoring, is that it's positive only.
Right.
So
on turn 6, you just say what your charge anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't care what your opponent scores. So you only care what you score, and you're not losing anything by dying there. You're just having the option of maybe if your dice go crazy, you're getting a point. Whereas if it was attritional based, you wouldn't do that. You'd run away and hide. Yeah, which has got its merits as well. But
let's not start that discussion just yet.
Yeah. No, there's pluses and minuses to that. We know that there's a tactical side as well, isn't there, of preserving points.
Yeah, no.
So it's just how you choose to play. So it looks like he's backed up and sidestepped, and is healed,
which will give him that 1 objective, and he will heal some. Yep.
Yeah. So he's unlikely to die there, especially with that heal on.
Does power through 1 wound.
Ooh. No.
Cavern Dweller gets all 6 attacks.
Yeah.
11 hits on 12 dice, ain't bad. 10 wounds and a 6. We'll miss them by 1. Yet another by 1. Oof.
Yeah.
So funny.
All right. So here, just in the last 2 turns, I think that's what, the 3rd combat that Tom has missed by 1 on the nerve roll.
4th,
if not more,
yeah.
No, it does not need brutal.
Yeah, rather than Cavern Dweller needs brutal. No, you are incorrect. It does not. It does not need that. Life Leech 3 and brutal. No, too much.
Yeah.
So here we are, bottom of turn 6.
Let's see
what
Ed to do here, really, is there? It's just.
Ugh.
Oh.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't step off the objective.
Well, is the Cavern Dweller in the flank of that other horde? Is that what he's thinking? Is he thinking flank and then make sure he can still sidestep to? No, I don't know what he's thinking.
I'm not sure what he's thinking. I don't know why you're going to show your rear to the cavern.
No, I'm very confused. It's gone from 9% battery life.
For anybody that joined in the middle of the game and doesn't know, Ed is playing on a laptop and he forgot the charger for it. So he's just playing on however much battery he has. And apparently the battery is down to 9%.
I really, really don't like that. I don't think he can get around and flank.
The way you were saying that, I was like, so you really don't like that Ed forgot his charger? Because I mean, like everyone's, they're people. He's people.
Obviously.
I also don't like that for the impending doom.
Did you imagine? Just always like we got this message from Tom, so it died.
The problem with batteries on the on pads, like on laptops, they tend to go really, really rapidly. The last 10% is
yes,
you don't see it drop.
9% doesn't often mean 9%, does it? It means 60%, 70%, 40% gone.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going for the charge. So he's going for the flank. I mean, it's kills into it. It's
I guess it takes that other objective that Tom just stepped onto away from him. Right, this objective.
Go spite.
Right.
What was I just saying about there's no benefit from taking stuff away from your opponent?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love this from Riley. Ed is just living in the future. Batteries are the new clock for you, B2.
Yeah, I like
we have one charge. We have one charge on a laptop.
My laptop battery charge is knackered, so I've probably got about 10 minutes before it goes.
Mine, I have been on battery since we started, and I still have an hour and 45 minutes left on my battery. So I'll play the game against like Alex and them, you know.
I'm not sure I like Ed's charge there because now he's.
I think this is unnecessarily risky.
Yeah, I agree. He's given up 2 bonus points.
Yeah, is he hoping to kill it and then be able to like do some side reforming to get back in?
He needed 2 on the side step to get back in. Yeah. And if doing that, he takes himself away from the bottom one. So I don't get it. He's actually put himself in a position where he could lose if things go horrifically wrong.
On a turn 7, if the Cavern Dweller countercharges the one that's in his flank, if it lives, and picks it up.
He now only has one objective.
And granted, Tom has 0 right now, but
yeah, but I still don't like it because in a 7, I just don't like it. Full stop.
If they decide to play a 7, I mean, the battery power.
So the foxes are wavered.
Yeah. Okay. That's not a great roll from the tree herder, which is tree herder. 3 hits and what?
Oh no, that was. Oh, was that 2 damage? I think. Yeah. Nothing.
They're fine.
So I'd be interested to see what Ed's reform is, assuming he kills the Cavern Dweller. You know, I wonder if he had something in mind. I wonder if he backs up, can he hold both there? Surely he's not in range to do both, is he?
No, he's too far.
Yeah, the foxes are wavered.
Yeah.
So 31 hits in the flank. Oh, he's rolling them all together. That's the front end flank.
Damage.
31 damage.
Well, yeah. There's the elite.
Oh, double 6.
And double 6 for good measure.
All right.
Okay, I'll be very interested to see what this.
So what you doing now, Ed?
Yeah, if he sidesteps towards the center objective and doesn't make it, but steps out of the way of the lower one,
he loses. So he can't do that, surely.
No, it would be a draw because they both have neither because they're contesting all the objectives.
But why would you throw away?
Why bother? Yeah, because the snow foxes up here are wavered, but they're still within 3, so they're still contesting. These guys are currently within that one, but that's it.
Is this back?
2 inches, just barely put him on it.
That was if that had been a 1, that would have been.
And yeah, if that had been a 1, and the game ended now, he would have turned a win into a draw completely unnecessarily.
Why did he do that?
I think he was playing for the 7 so that he would get the flank charge. If there was a 7, he could flank the 4 shamblers.
I mean, yeah, showboating there, Ed, but
my goodness, living dangerously.
Yeah.
And no 7.
I mean, you know,
right?
Well,
Is that that's the roll for 2 and 7?
Yeah, roll the 1. So, Ed wins. Ed wins by 1.
1-0.
1-0, yeah.
Yeah, 1-0 with 2 bonus points.
But has given up bonus points that he didn't need to give up. But you know, it's still a win, isn't it?
Still a win.
It's still a win. I feel like a lot of these are going to be small wins because you have to have scoring units alive at the end, and people might burn lots of tokens.
Exactly, yeah. Well, we did sort of consider that when we were deciding what scenario to play for the last one. We liked the idea that if people knew they had to have big wins, they wouldn't want to burn tokens.
Right back.
And we wondered if people would be considering that in their gameplay. So if they knew they were close, that they would think, well, it might be the best thing to do tactically to burn it, but if I burn it, then I can't score it later on.
Yeah.
So we thought people might just not think about that and run at each other and play kill, and make a mad dash for the scenario at the end. But you know.
Yeah, I was very swingy for the first 2 rounds, especially. It was like every turn that happened, it went between one person to the other of like where the momentum was.
I don't think either player made a particularly big mistake, or there was a big dice roll that swung it. I think it was just Ed set it up better than I think I realised at first. And I think the one turn where Tom could have killed 3 units but only killed 1.
That was huge for Tom.
Because there was a lot of heal and Radiant Alive that swung it back around again. So it could have gone a whole lot worse then. If Tom had broken those 3 units in that turn, I think the game would have gone very differently.
It was interesting to see the Radiance of Life, well, Radiance of Death, the Cloak of Death, sorry, causing all that damage. It's devastating on such a monstrously difficult unit to get rid of, like the Wiltfather. Yeah. And slam that in the middle, and it was just...
Especially in a game where both of the battle plans are to be really hunkered in and close to each other. So you're getting so much use out of it. You know, because I think he had the 5 units in all in that one little block to Tom, that all 5 were getting hit with Cloak of Death every turn.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw that when the Lord and Frostfang finally got charged, it was already on 4 damage. That's pretty impressive, really.
Yeah, that's it. That's when it's really obvious.
You have to have a pretty big gun line to do that amount of damage to that many units. You know, to match that.
Yeah.
Hi, Tom.
Hey.
Oh, it's still going.
All right, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. So that was an awesome game. You know, we felt like we just watched this brutal monster mash stomping in the middle of the table for several rounds. That was very cool. So thanks for letting us watch that. Guys, do we have any questions for them?
Just wondering at the end there, Ed, you sort of seemed to have it tied up and then took quite a risky last turn charge where you pulled yourself off a few tokens and were relying on sidesteps. Were you just trying to go for extra points, or were you showboating by that point?
I didn't have it wrapped up because, you know, we were drawing the one at the top, and he had the one sort of near that big set of combats because he had a horde there, and unless my horde that was in the front of his cavern dweller was going to get through his cavern dweller, he would have that with his ice elemental horde. So we were drawing, and I reckoned that I wouldn't do worse than draw.
You also had a second one, maybe you not realised.
No, I didn't.
Your other horde was holding the bottom token. It was just within 3.
Yeah. It was just nicking it. Yeah.
Well, I assumed it wasn't. I was on.
We were wondering why you'd taken such
a rational thought.
We were just trying to play before his battery went
why
out.
you'd made such a risky last turn charge. It's like, you've taken a guaranteed win.
To be honest, I was. I mean, when he took off those 2 regiments first turn with icy breath.
Yeah,
I just thought, that my whole ability to stand off a bit and play cannily is gone without those there. So I just had to, throw caution to the winds and rush in.
I think Mike called that. Oh, there we go.
Well, it was nice to meet you, Ed.
Godspeed.
He was at 1%. So
yeah, Mike did say that when Ed lost those 2 units very early on with the devastating icy breath, he said that you can see that Ed just went right. Okay, everything forward, and advance the plan 1 or 2 turns earlier.
I think that's what he wanted to do anyways. I think where I messed up was on the right flank. I should have used the Hurin to make it a single charge on my ice elementals. For some reason I didn't think about it. And he got a double charge with the Shamblers and popped them, and that really sped up that flank. Whereas I think if I would have played it the right way, it would have been a grind for at least another turn or 2. And once that happened, then he was able to really start putting pressure on me.
Yeah, we were also curious about the snow foxes on the token on the far right, because we kind of expected you to burn that token a couple turns earlier than you did. Was that something that you forgot to do, or were you holding it because you thought it was a good strategic objective to hold, or what happened over there?
Yeah, I was just going to hold it and make him send somebody up there, whether that was the warden or something, and then I was going to do what I almost did, which was burn it and then try to run over and burn the other one. But I didn't have the movement with the obstacle in the way. So I don't know. I was just going to hang out there and see what happened. That was kind of my plan.
Yeah, Ed's back.
Yep. Did we have any other questions for them?
No, I think that was good.
No, it's a really enjoyable game.
It was a really good game. Really good. And I
think it was a lot of fun to watch.
It was the turn 2 or 3, I think it was, where you almost killed 3 units, Tom, and then actually only brought the one of them. I think it was a turn after you shot off the one, and I think if that had swung one way or the other, it could have been a very different game. Because after that, the radius of life and heal really kicked in.
He had 4.
Missed by ones.
That missed by 1.
Yeah, we caught those.
And I had 3 or 4 where I got it by 1. I mean, so that is really. And he let me off with a surge I forgot to do. So.
There's a bit of a good. Why has it done it? What's it doing?
Okay, good. Why is he rolling combats? It's forgotten.
We all sat here like, oh no, don't forget the surge.
Like, you killed the giant, and we're like, that's nice and all, but the surge!
The surge, man.
Don't let anyone ever tell you I'm not the nicest dojo. So
that's right.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. This is
excellent.
All top table play in round 6.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great game.
It was a great game to watch. What did you guys think about this scenario? I feel like this is one of the new ones in third ed, and I'm not sure that it's been played a whole lot. Did you guys have a lot of experience with this? Did you have to kind of come up with a plan on the fly because it was new? Like, what's your general experience with this scenario been like?
I haven't played it too often. Okay, go ahead.
I've played it a couple of times, but usually it's been much more obvious who's going to control which tokens. And so you're trying to sort of nip in and burn a token that you can see the opponent is likely to control at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And then you're sort of scrapping over the middle one. This was really hard. I mean, I didn't want to burn them because I didn't feel confident in which bit of the battlefield I might be on top at the end of the game. So I just decided to leave them and hope for the best.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things with your list, Ed, because the scout move, the first turn advantage that you normally get from this scenario was very much negated, because you both had first turns, so it made it very, very tight in the middle. And like you said, we could see that if you had first turn, that it might have been slightly different because you've had that double first shunt forward, and your Ger Panthers could go all the way down that left flank. And potentially burn the token down there. I think Elliot pointed it out as being that's what he would have done, and but by both of you having
if I'd got first turn, I'd have certainly burnt that one on the far left, but I didn't get the turn.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I haven't played it too often. I like it though. It's different than the other ones. Different enough that I think it's warranted of being in there. It's fun. Yeah, the Vanguard changed the Scout changed the strategy a little bit. I deployed a little bit wider than I otherwise would have. But yeah, I like it.
Good.
Cool. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, I'd like to thank both of you guys for letting us look over your shoulders while you play. That was an excellent game. Congrats to Ed on winning. And I would normally say good luck in the rest of the tournament, but this is the end of the tournament. So speaking of other games in the tournament, though, going on right now, also right here on Dash 28 Live, should be Stephen Devonish versus Kyle Poole. And then we have, I think, 4 matches lined up tomorrow, pretty much at all hours of the day, except when Ronnie Renton is playing. There's a media blackout during that, so Mantic's channel is the only thing to watch. And then, of course, on Sunday, we bring you the top table match in the final round between Tom Robinson and Mark Campbell. Be sure to tune in for that. That will be at 6 p.m. British Standard Time, or British Summer Time, sorry, and 1 p.m. Eastern U.S. Time. I hope everybody at home enjoyed watching this game. I know we certainly did as well. So thanks once again to Ed and Tom for a very entertaining and well-played game. I'd like to thank John, Elliott, and Ashley for joining me here in the booth and hanging out for a couple hours. And thank everyone at home for watching. This has been Dash 28 Live. You stay safe out there, and we will see you next time.
Okay. Thanks very much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Yep.